Bracket did not load for me yet, so let me mute the stream. Oh, okay. I think I found the bracket. Sorry, I'm new to Smash. I mean, Start, whatever.
Yeah.
Start.gg. Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, maybe Jamer versus Megunya.
Alright, Javaro
Wait,
versus
is Jamer
America.
Javaro?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, but I did not remember. Oh, does streaming the other match count as saving you, Shadowpelt? Because if so, well, there you go. I can't really do much about the J Feather thing, though. Game Freak, I'm not gonna participate in this one. If one more person had joined, I would have participated just to round it out. But I'm just gonna commentate for this one. You can fight me after the tournament if you want. I'll probably still have a little energy left in me.
Alright. It's too late for me to join.
It would be very difficult to run a tournament with both the TO and moderator. I mean, commentator. I don't know why I said moderator. But with both of us participating, that would be an awkward tournament. Not that I haven't done tournaments where I participated. Hold up. I'm just changing a game setting.
Okay. Now, where is America?
Oh, wait, Shadowpelt. There is a secret you can use to prevent yourself from having to fight Lich. But as a commentator, I feel like it's not fair for me to remind you what it is. So I'm afraid I can't say it. Sorry. Oh, do we want to stream every set, actually?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 sets. Do we want to do 10 sets?
I've got time, but it's up to you. Hope I'm loud enough.
Sure. Let's do it.
Alright. Sorry, Shadowpelt.
Oh, okay, let's get Shadowpelt J Feather first in.
Okay. Yeah, good idea.
Yo, Kuyachi's in the chat. Hello. Shadowpelt
Hi,
versus...
Kuyachi.
So
Who's
Shadowpelt...
Kuyachi, by the way?
Kuyachi is someone who carries my Mega Strikers tournaments. Like, on the TO end.
Oh, that's cool. Oh my gosh. I should watch those. I have not gotten a chance. I did skip through some parts of Stargazers 9, though, which was a pretty cool tournament, though the commentary was questionable.
Yeah, it's kind of like that sometimes. J Feather may be going to Spell Awakened, and
Wait, Spell Awakened?
that's where we're ending up. Wait, no, Shadowpelt's on the left, right? So Shadowpelt the one
Oh,
opting into it.
yeah. Okay, Spell Awakened it is. And it is Worm versus Lich.
So Shadowpelt, not the most comfortable in this matchup because their style has evolved to the very aggressive running in, but actually succeeds early here, which
Ooh.
is definitely something you want to do, but getting hit twice and not sure. I think J Feather is fully skilled at this point.
Feather holding that Novi life. I imagine he's worried about Shadow Pelt running up and getting that Novi fire, which feels like exactly what Shadow Pelt would want to do in any other matchup with how close he's getting to J Feather.
Yeah, and J Feather plays this matchup like holding flower until Novi fire completely, which is something not all the liches do because you kind of want to dance around the flower sometimes. But J Feather a bit stubborn in that regard, and against Shadow Pelt's playstyle, it's definitely paying off. Alright, Shadow Pelt in a very, very sticky situation. J Feather just hanging back and waiting for the game to play itself, and that's how it ends.
That was a really tough one. I think even a wide was blocking the way, which made it even harder. Shadow Pelt did one good dodge towards the end there, which, after all those bonks, it makes me think he's beginning to find his footing in the matchup, or getting warmed up at least. So maybe we'll see a better showing in the second round.
Yeah, and as we're heading into another game, both players staying on their characters. We'll have to see if Shadow Pelt can, I guess, get more early. But the way J Feather's playing, I'm not sure if an opening is there. Alright, round start Novi fire, but J Feather is far enough away. But actually gets sniped out by a wide. And Shadow Pelt just, it just feels like the inner ring of that Lich wide is really, really obstructing Shadow Pelt in these games.
Yeah, especially when J Feather's kind of hiding behind it. Nice Novi life.
And Shadow Pelt has to get a little desperate. Goes for
Ooh.
a cheeky wide inside the flower. Had it connected, would have been one of the plays of all time, but unfortunately it doesn't. However, Shadow Pelt starting this card off on a little better of a situation, but unfortunately, if you Novi fire like that, J Feather always will have the flower up. Unfortunately, it's looking a little one-sided at this point. J Feather able to make space and again let the game play itself at this point. Shadow Pelt looking for a way in, cannot find anything, looks for a wide at least, but J Feather not getting hit by it too easily.
Oh. I was about to say Shadow Pelt might have a chance since J Feather's down on flowers, but will you not go with it? Shadow Pelt is negotiating. Or Shadow Pelt could go Lich.
I forgot that Meruka told me to DQ them. Like she
Oh.
DM'd me before saying, forgetting I had something else to do, can you take me out of the bracket? And I just completely forgot over like the
Oh man.
past few hours.
Rip Meguka. Alright, now we only have 5 people, but I guess that's life. I think it would be too late for me to fill in and make a 6th. Oh, okay, so it appears that Shadow Pelt has ended up pulling a Storm Beast.
Yeah, and this could be what Shadow Pelt needs to take one game here.
And that was a nice surprise attack there. Jayfeather tried to stun out of it, but unfortunately that was the wrong move in that occasion.
And Horai, if you want to join, I can actually add you right now in Mocha's spot.
Oh, really? Well, I'll do it just to fill out the tournament, but since I'm a little tired, maybe I'll play, like, some random character or something.
Well, if you don't want to, then that's fine. Like, tournament's
Well,
already started. It's
no,
easier.
I should do it. I should do it just cause.
Okay, okay,
As long
okay.
as Javaro doesn't mind.
Javara says let Horai enter, so...
Oh, okay, I'll do it. Why not? If I can figure out how to enter anyway. Which I
Okay.
don't really know how to do.
I'll just add you. You seem to confirm on the tournament page.
Oh.
And you're gonna have to, like, commentate because I'm doing the thing.
Okay, Shadow of Hell opening by throwing a clone right at Jayfeather, but the charge basic does not hit, and I think it kind of backfired there since Shadow of Hell was forced right into that corner by the basic afterward. Shadow Pelt takes another hit. Looks like he was going to do a charge combo, but flash step before it, but that ended up making it miss. And Shadow Pelt is on the last life of the set. Carefully dodging, not wanting to lose this. Tried to do a surprise. Oh, just barely at the edge of the stun radius. That is going to be it.
Okay, so last game was that. Okay, okay. So that was start bracket. It's gonna be a little scuffed. But you're against Javaro. But that's what we know.
Oh, how do I confirm that?
On the tournament page, it should.
Oh, I see it now. That's interesting. Site is crazy.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Report game data. Jayfeather 1, Lich against Worm, Lich against Worm. And then third game was Frost against Storm. Submit result.
Okay. Sorry, the request took forever to load for some reason. So it's always fun. Okay, I guess I am in. Where's the bracket? There it is. Okay.
Yep.
I guess I'm fake Maguka now.
Fake Maguka, except not under the name Maguka.
Okay, who do I want to play? Alright. Become Maguka, no Horai. Sorry, I have to say that quote. It's a secret. You'll just have to find out.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate how Shadowpelt always gets Lich Hell.
Oh, sorry, Shadowfelt. Let's hope Game Freak doesn't lose round C.
Yeah, that would be a very unfortunate situation if Horai would beat Javaro and Game Freak.
Oh, are you ready, by the way, Saya?
Yep, I'm always ready.
Alright, let's go.
I remember back when I was starting out and I was like manually editing text stuff and I had to like copy and paste back and forth if the size changed and okay, that's the matchup we're playing today, it looks like. Definitely one of the relics of the Spellbird era, the red mirror that we don't see nearly as much nowadays. Horai on the red, Javaro on the green, and Javaro is the better basic spammer it seems, but just stands still as the hit and bone happens and gets smacked in the face by a kunai. Roy finding some really nice angles for the basics, and Javaro unfortunately in a bit of a bind now at 1 heart, getting hit by that wide, and Horai takes the first card.
When you say in a bit of a bind, does that imply that Javaro actually got hit by some binds? Because I didn't actually see, to be honest.
Yeah, I said it because Javaro got hit by a bind.
Oh, I see. Oh my gosh.
Well, it looks like Horai's in a bit of a bind right now, as... Oh, never mind, Javaro is the one who bonks the wide. And it looks like both players are going to be just trading hits back and forth. The, the hood mirror, definitely one that is very accident prone with how much stuff is thrown around, but I think Javaro making it a little bit harder on himself by standing relatively still, allowing the pressure to stack up. And not even using a wide this card so far. Javaro trying to go full tap basic mode. And it does not succeed.
There's your tap basic.
Javaro is still trying to make the tap basics work, but on the last heart of the game, and you have to think it's not going to really work out. Looking like a easy mode Toho boss pattern, as Horai takes care of that card.
I guess I'll stay. Which character in Toho uses 3 lasers at a time? Like that.
I don't know, but like the regularity of it made it feel like it.
Oh no, I'm getting counterpicked.
Alright, which pick will Javaro go? Although we don't know, my money's on depth for some inexplicable reason.
I don't even know who Javaro plays these days. I thought Javaro was a Frost player back in the day, but
Javaro at his most powerful is on the Frost, but it feels like Javaro does not like going full power mode.
yeah, back in the day, like when you first started playing. Or at least when I remember you first started playing. Oh, I guess I should start. Although, come to think of it, Javaro didn't declare what the switch was going to be. Oh my gosh, I started the game too early. I'm sorry. Whoops.
Alright, Stormbeast coming out from Javaro, a vintage counter pick, right? This is like really, really old tech. I think I remember back in the day, like, who was it? I think Quetzal versus Frog, and someone pulled it out of the Storm, and people really thought this was the counter pick in the matchup.
And there was also Trial by Crew Battle where Uchilu's Storm put out a lot of work against my team's Red Hoods. And that had a lot to do with why my team lost. It was so sad. Okay, it wasn't that sad, to be honest.
Javaro not able to succeed so far here. Finally gets a melee hit, holds it to its full duration, has to let go though to not get sniped out, and runs head first into a stationary wide, as we all know and love.
Oh man.
Quite the interesting
Could have started
trade.
with an advantage.
Right, Javaro just tap basicing, widing, trying to catch Horai's movement, but Horai staying mostly still. Not panicking, and now Javaro goes into a bit of a railgun mode, back to the tap basic and wide mode as the walls close. So, I don't know, but it looks like Javaro is really just practicing dodging for a little bit here. Not really putting out meaningful offensive pressure. Horai just not getting hit by the tap basics. Javaro now going in for a little bit of a melee attempt, but none of it sticking. Horai staying in the dead zone. But Horai finally getting hit by a tap basic. Javaro still backing up. And as the walls aren't nearly as close, Javaro can flash step quite the great distance, but maybe not a position you want to be in. The red pressure stacking up a little bit when you're that stationary. And the way Javaro is using the clone, not quite the scariest. Alright, they're forced into a little bit of sticky situation against the wall. Between the clone has to make some dodges against this 90-degree angle. And that crossfire from Javaro just put in so much work. Still at 1 heart though. Any hit from Horai takes this. Right, Javaro still dancing along the wall. Horai trying not to get sniped out. I think we're going to see a mix-up from Javaro soon, but no, it still continues. Tossing out a wide to maybe punish a bit of the movement across. None of that happening right now. Now Horai is still putting out the red pressure. Javaro just dodging it all here. Trying to get that last hit to continue this game. But Horai is the one who takes it, and right now it's 2-0.
That was intense.
Alright, and my prediction is that Javaro is going to switch. Definitely a many character enjoyer.
My heart is pounding. I wasn't expecting to have such a serious match. That's Red Hood. I thought this would be chill.
I feel like Javaro's going to go on an even less chill character now. Possibly. Javaro is Rock Lee. Javaro types in Twitch chat, am I Rock Lee? And Rem doesn't answer yet.
I think after the worm nerfs that were specifically made to help the worm versus sun matchup, that was a point where Storm versus Red was probably the worst matchup in the game. I don't know if Sun Wave is Frost or Sun, but I guess I'll find out in a minute.
Oh, I thought it was Worm for a second. But no, it's just Sun.
Okay, it is Sun.
Alright, Javaro doing the can you dodge check, and Horai far enough away that it's not very scary. Now Javaro looking for a little bit of an opening, but Horai continuing to just walk away and output that red pressure. Javaro does almost nothing with the dispel, but Horai gets faked out, and
I flicked my control stick at just the wrong moment.
it's really the do nothing. Doing nothing is sometimes the scariest thing. No setup, no basics, no wides out of that dispel. Just the same thing again from Javaro, and Horai won't fall for it twice. And Javaro notably a little basicless. Just looking to have some cool dodges maybe against the wall. Finally gets caught by a basic, and now you have to think he's gonna go for more diamonds, and there they are. Alright, and Javaro is still just dodging it out, using the diamonds for move speed and maybe to catch Horai out, but at that range it doesn't seem too likely. Now channeling diamonds, but Horai just moves in. And the up close pressure is quite scary, but Javaro manages to dodge it all. Javaro still not getting caught, not pressing any buttons here, doing a little bit of trolling, as some people would say, and finally wanders into a bind. And Javaro indeed.
Starting to see. Sorry.
What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm starting to see what people meant about Javaro trolling during tournaments sometimes. Those were the first 6 basics of the tournament. Those were the first 9 basics of the tournament. Those were the first 12 basics of the tournament. I don't know why I'm keeping up the count, to be honest.
Yeah, Javaro playing for fun, definitely.
You dodged that! What?
And Javaro also one of the best dodgers of our generation.
You're dead this time, Varo. You're dead. What? What? How did you dodge that? How? Okay. Somehow I hit you there.
Alright, and final heart for Javaro here. Trying not to get super sniped. I remember when that was in the game briefly. I miss super
Oh my
snipe.
gosh. I do not miss Super Snipe.
Anyway, Horai takes it 3-0 as Red Hood.
In my opinion, Red should be easier to dodge and better at checkmates. That would make it more fun. Okay, so back in the day, that during the must have been like the 3rd balance patch or something, one thing we tried to make Red Hood better was increasing the speed of fully charged Red Hood basic by like a lot. And a lot. Like, at one point it was so fast that it would catch me as Sun if I was in the middle of charging diamonds. Hated it. Well, I didn't hate it. It made the matchup feel a little more frantic and dynamic. I'll give it that. But it's not what I would have wanted.
Alright, it's winter semis time. First is Rem versus J Feather. First time seeing Rem in tournament in a long time.
This will be fun.
Yeah, Rem notably taking, what was it again? Rem notably taking 5th place at the invitational thing, Magical Mountain.
Oh, I still have to watch that. By the way, though, having half of the bracket start in losers was harsh.
Yeah, but like there's an entire group stage.
You know, in the 3rd trial by tourney, only 4 people out of 32 started in losers.
That's true.
Or, no, wait, was it 8 people? I think it might have been 8.
Wait, wasn't it half at trial by tourney? One of the trial by tourneys at least?
I think it was 8.
And I feel like trial by tourney was even more brutal with the larger groups. So people...
Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm misremembering. If Shadow of Hell also says it was half. Okay, more interestingly though, we've got Red Hood versus Lich.
Yeah, and Rem, formerly a Red Hood player, has like transitioned almost completely to Sun nowadays, but back on the old main it seems. I'm not gonna be talking for a bit. I need to like do bracket things, so.
And I will talk. Ooh, that was a risky move by J-Feather, but I guess he knew exactly how that micro was gonna go. I feel like J-Feather could have actually charged that flower a little bit longer, because he actually dodged everything correctly. But it paid off, and he got a flower wall set up. 2 butterflies on Rem's side. Question is he going to close off the gap in time? Well, Rem vanishes across anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But J-Feather's got a flower wall up again. A butterfly off of the screen, though only barely now because Rem takes a hit. Seems like this is J-Feather's game to lose right now. Even taking 2 hits, Red Hood is in a pretty tough position, I think, at this point of the game. But J-Feather takes a really big risk right there. Once again, it pays off. Now Rem's on the other side, but it did cost a hit.
Yeah, and J-Feather is just playing this space pretty nicely, but Rem gets that hit, and now it's suddenly looking much more doable. Rem just dancing along the right side. The pressure alleviates somewhat. Jfeather finally going over there, but gets caught out.
Maybe just a little too much risk for that late in the game. Jfeather not wanting to make that mistake again, opens right away with the Novi life.
Yeah, but the Novi life can't save you if you just bonk, and Jfeather spending a little too much time down there, letting the basics and the knives stack up in the same direction. Over here too, has to make a scary dodge at the wall, finally gets out of there, but again has to dodge the knives and doesn't notice the wide right on top of him. Oh, and
Oh, that's a really unfortunate wide hit.
yeah, as Horai would say, Jfeather is in a bit of a bind here as the bind finishes off the first game. And we have a
Who's
special
there?
guest, Javaro, here, fresh off throwing another set.
Hey, Javaro, what's up?
Hello. Plans changed, so I'm here now.
What plans changed?
The plans that involve me not being in this VC changed.
Oh, interesting.
So
Well, welcome to the booth.
now I can get here. Yeah, I hope you don't mind my intrusion. But I'm here.
So,
Yeah. What?
what are your opinions on Jfeather versus Rem?
Whether is
Ooh, what happened? You're cutting out.
oh, 1 second. Okay.
Oh dear.
That's some real static.
No, this thing is pretty bad. Is this better?
I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, can it be better?
It could be better, but I think it's good enough.
But it's stable, right?
I think it's stable
We
enough,
can hear what
yeah.
you're saying now. You weren't even roboting, it was just buzzing and little,
I
I don't know what the word
see.
is.
Yeah, it's not good. Well,
But now we
I
can hear
don't.
what you're saying.
I see. Um, I don't know. I'm surprised that Jfeather is playing Lich, since he hates Lich so much.
Doesn't like fighting Lich.
He doesn't like fighting Lich, but he
Sometimes,
doesn't like being Lich.
if you can't beat him, join him, I guess.
He did do that, and then he got mad at himself, so... Maybe Jfeather's taking an anger vacation. He's just doing everything that normally would irritate him, but it's not this time because he said it won't.
So,
Oh,
do you
it's a
think
tight spot.
Jfeather doesn't like the Frost Red matchup?
Well, I was talking with him earlier, and he said that it's favored for Frost. Actually, wait, no, I can kind of think of why he's playing Lich. I think it's because he hates Red Hood, and when he hates things, he plays Lich to irritate his opponent and to also, like, not have to work as hard. Because Lich plays, he plays a bit more back, usually. I mean, this time he kind of went in. But I think, like, Lich is kind of like, it's his annoying matchup management character. I don't remember what the original question
That's
is.
good to have one of those. Ren may be in the lead here, but Jacob, I almost said Jacob.
Jacob Brain Power.
Jfeather's Lich is scary.
Yeah, and Jfeather just letting, I guess, Lich be a character here, letting Rem make the mistakes, just hanging back, not taking any big risks. Finally walks onto a wide, but a 3-1 lead this late into the game could just be what seals the game here.
Yeah, it's bad news for Red, and unfortunately, Rem takes an early hit anyway.
Yeah, Rem's having a hard time dodging, which you kind of need to do against Lich. But it's hard.
Yeah, and Jfeather able to just place a butterfly back there, which is crucial. Stacks 2, which isn't great, and also gets hit, but Rem getting hit definitely beneficial to Jfeather's game plan. Definitely wants that hard lead, definitely wants to just slow the game down where he doesn't have to take risks anymore. Although he does leave the bottom open.
Nice. Well, now Rem has a little bit less space, but does still have Vanish up. Probably doesn't need it though. Uses it anyway. I guess it's an offensive advantage.
Oh my gosh, did Jfeather just get hit by like the tail of basic? That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and
He's at 1 heart now.
Oh, that was tough. Yeah, Jfeather trying to make sure Rem has enough pressure, but that ends up requiring that you take some risks for Lich, and I think maybe it wasn't the time to be playing risky.
so Rem's
This
up
is-
2-0 now, right?
I think so.
Yes.
And it was looking good for Jfeather too, like a little bit in the middle of this game, but that's a very, very unfortunate hit, and getting hit at round start doesn't really help.
Oh,
Well, he did get a hit
Lich
back.
just
So
did the breakfast combo. Smooth dodge by Jfeather, and Rem bonks a wide at the same time, so it paid off. Jay getting caught by the tail of basics. Oh no! An unfortunate wide bonk, and Jay finds himself in a bit of a bind in the last heart of the card.
Yeah, and it was kind of looking good for Jfeather too. It was 2-2 with setup, but 1-2 now 0-2, and Jfeather on their winner's bracket card right now. And Rem just trying to line up the angles. Jfeather staying mostly static, which definitely helps the red pressure just stack up. And again, Jfeather greeting for the multiple wide casts is looking kind of hopeless now. Rem just needs 2 bonks, and I feel like Jfeather can't avoid bonking on these basics and the wides and knives for too long. Alright, Jfeather trying to get some setup down. Has some nice butterflies in the crossfire, but I don't know. I feel like Rem had time to cross there. Doesn't decide to. Still pretty comfortable. The wide density isn't that high, but unfortunately kind of slowly creeps into a flower. But Jfeather getting hit there means Rem is 1 hit away from securing this set.
oh, there you go.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Alright, so now we have Game Freak versus Horai, a unique matchup, hasn't happened before.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go.
All right, I believe in Game Freak v Horai.
Believe in what though?
In Game Freak v Ori. Who is in me? Ori? I only started this game this May. No, go hard. How is Game Freak gonna learn if you go easy on him?
Alright, we have to spectate. Can't miss the spectate.
Hasn't
I'm-
Game Freak won a tournament before?
He's
Game
That's what I
Freak's
was
won
told.
Game Freak's won many tournaments before.
little flex.
I don't really want to go easy, to be honest.
Yeah, don't.
No, you gotta
think-
go hard.
Don't go easy.
Although I am gonna stay in the commentary booth, so there's your going easy. I'm nerfing myself.
Alright.
Funny story, by the way.
Yeah?
A while back, when I was playing Genshin Impact, I thought for a moment that there was one character in Genshin Impact that had, like,
Sorry.
that even though it was never explicitly stated, I thought this character must have designed their kit intentionally based on this other character's kit because of some connection between those characters or something. But I was completely wrong. There is no such character like that. I was just making it up, and what I was actually thinking about was Red Hood and Lich.
Oh.
I just forgot about that. Okay, I probably shouldn't have talked during that round. Should have focused a little more on winning the game. Oh, well, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate start for Horai. That wide bonk and that perfectly placed basic by Game Freak walling off in the middle of those 2 wides, and now Game Freak going in with the aggressive flower, but decides to back up at the wrong timing, gets caught. Now Game Freak with a little bit of setup. Horai just trying to force Game Freak out and then use the diamonds to catch Game Freak, but the diamond dash in avoids the last wave of diamonds and just walks back out. You know, I've started to believe that play-by-play Maiden and Spell is not impossible.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like it's doable.
Mega Strikers is changing you, Saya.
Mega Strikers has changed me. Commentating a game that's possible to commentate has opened up so many possibilities.
And to think Sar could have done all of this if you just stuck with that.
Yeah, but SARS
sad.
like systems suck. It's so
Yeah.
like do-it-yourself style. At least Omega Strikers has like the super basic support.
Oh
Well,
my
Sar
god!
was.
What?
No way.
It was a wide there.
Maybe the tangent wasn't the most conducive to this set in particular, but Game Freak up 1-0, and I feel
Does
like
holy SST mean experiencing lag?
yup.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
because I was not experiencing any lag. People keep telling me this.
That's why I was
I-
laughing so hard. I'm sorry. Like I saw the SST and I had to mute myself.
Saya, did you see the lag?
There was a little bit of teleporting.
Huh.
I'm not quite.
I never saw any.
Oh, and the wides. Okay, that first wave of wides was crazy. After that, it was fine, but the first wave was so scary.
I hear the SST is worse for the player than it is for the spectators.
Really? Because remember, like last tournament, there was a set where we thought it was really bad, but it was mostly fine. That was some crazy network though, but Horai manages to respond with the diamonds now. Game Freak looking to set up in the center to wall off Horai at the right side. Horai still trying to stop Game Freak, but Game Freak gets the flower up, gets the butterflies up, and that wide ring, but unfortunately can't stay alive long enough. Horai dispelling for safety, crossing the flower, and catches Game Freak trying to cross the other way. Now it's looking kind of bad for Game Freak. Horai just needs one hit, any hit. Hanging out at the left side, a little bit cramped, but it's getting a little cramped for Game Freak as well as the diamonds approach, but managing to get through all of them. Now drops the flower, goes for a little bit of aggression. Unfortunately, Horai doesn't notice the wide right on top of them as they try to move down away from Game Freak's pressure. Now Game Freak looking to stabilize a little bit, looking to set up on this right side, but unfortunately just runs into a wide, and Horai takes the first card of the second game. Alright, Javara, who do you think is winning? Because it looks like Horai's turning it up a little bit. Javara, I can't hear you. Your mic's doing that thing again.
Oh my god.
I can
Okay,
hear
one
you
second.
now. I can hear you now.
Okay. I need to hold my head in a certain position.
Oh.
It's like an antenna. Anyway. So Horai is down. What?
I feel like you're cutting out.
Okay, hold on. You take over.
Okay,
I need to rest.
Javaro, right now there's a half-decent mic available on Amazon.com for $20.
Yo, is there?
Oh wait, no, the sale is in Micro Center, and I'm not sure if you live near Micro Center. That's quite unfortunate.
Aw,
Yes.
man.
So sad. You
Well,
baited me.
Do you live near Micro Center? It's possible. We'll talk later.
Can I at least be heard now? Am I stable?
Yep. For now,
Alright,
at
good.
least.
I had to stabilize the mic. Alright, so it's now game 1 in favor of Game Freak and game 2 in favor of nobody. Actually, I just lied. It's actually in favor of Game Freak. A little bit. Horai is definitely turning it up. He's playing Sun when before he was just kind of playing whatever character. Like when he was fighting against me, he was definitely very chill. But now he's using Sun. I don't see any SST right now, but maybe Game Freak can complain about it after the game.
Yeah, but Game Freak overall just playing pretty stable in this. Oh, runs into a wide though, and I went into the old habit of interrupting myself whenever something happens. You can't do that in a game like Maiden and Spell, where if you do that, you just get interrupted so many times. Horai now trying to use the diamonds to catch Game Freak, but it looks like Game Freak is just gonna wait. No, doesn't have the flower up. 1 second away, gets caught by the diamonds, and it's back to even. Game Freak though, putting the wide up, a bit of a wide snipe onto Horai, and Horai 1 heart left, desperately trying to get a hit here, trying to make a little bit of room as Game Freak's pressure is just really scary. Horai managing to cross over to the right side. Game Freak just walking through the wide wall, and it looks like Horai's gonna have to use diamonds a little bit, but that flower just nullifying all the pressure. Game Freak not getting hit by the
Oh
wides,
my
and
gosh.
Game Freak
But
closing
move
out.
back a bit.
Alright, 2-0 so far.
I honestly do feel like something is wrong with my setup if everyone is complaining about supposed one-sided lag. Well,
It's real.
Which I guess shouldn't be lag. Well, I say supposed because lag isn't supposed to be one-sided by nature. So I have no idea what could be happening.
Might just be like
I should record it.
might just be like the computer you're playing on has like not the most stable internet.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm definitely seeing the SST right now.
Okay,
All
I
right,
guess I'll have to upgrade my internet.
Orai is in a tough spot right now. He's pressed up against the walls, doesn't have much place to move, so he's just shooting and moving at the same time. He gets out, flower expires. Game Freak's pushed back and actually does not have a setup. He creates a ceiling flower and does not have any good setup down. It's actually even on paper, but Game Freak's setup is not very good, which some might say is a disadvantage for him, but he still gets the hit.
Yeah, unfortunately Horai getting a little bit caught up at the top right corner and jump scared by Butterfly at the bottom.
Oh boy. Okay.
Alright, Horai on winner's side card here. On the brink of getting sent to face Shadow Pelt in the lower bracket. Game Freak, however, trying to stay alive here against the diamond pressure, manages to get out this time. Used the flower earlier, so that was just dodging. As the wides approach, Game Freak will have to find another way, but has a flower if it's too dangerous. Might have to use it. Oh wait, maybe the indicator was lying because Game Freak just gets hit there.
It could be that he was trying to save flower.
Uh-oh. Your mic.
I actually can't talk, can I?
And the thing is, every time you come back, your volume changes, so I have to adjust it in Discord.
Oh my God. I'm actually the juke master. That's so funny. Oh my god. Okay, let me know when it's back. I'm just gonna keep
Hey, you're
talking.
back.
Tall.
You're back.
I'm back. It's good.
I'm back.
Hello. All right. I rezzed. I'm back.
I'm back. Okay, so Horai though looking pretty good in this card. Game Freak getting hit by all the stuff, and that was like the weirdest line I've ever said. But Game Freak still trying to maneuver around the basic, manages to get through without getting stopped by the wide. Horai goes for a dispel play here, but has to be careful of the flower afterwards. Goes down safely and secures the card.
All right. Excellently done by Orai. Oh well,
What?
he mixes himself up into a wide. Now it's 3-4. Game Freak getting his setup.
Ooh, you're cutting out again. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
no.
gonna try holding it in a position. Is this good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep my fingers here.
Javaro, I will subsidize a mic for you.
Oh my god.
This is
I'm
this is some dire straits we're in.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why it's so bad.
Rem says to tape it
No.
to your face. And meanwhile, the diamonds are getting taped to Game Freak's face as diamonds catch Game Freak on the top right. Another wave of diamonds catching Game Freak up close, and it's looking so winnable for Horai. Just has to dodge these last flowers. Manages to micro the basic as well. Just needs to stay alive. Game Freak making it through with the flower. Flower being down. This is the opportunity. The diamond dash through the flower with the dispel invulnerability, but Game Freak's charging, and wow, Horai manages to close that game out.
Excellently done by Orai.
It was looking a
Yeah, the
little
lag
scary.
is- Like, okay, the other day actually I played some games with people who started saying there was lag, and I actually noticed some sort of lag on my end as well. Giddo sent me a video actually, but I didn't get a chance to review it in full. The little part that it was only 2 minutes long, but I was just busy at the time. The part that I saw only had like, the only lag I saw was about the same as it was on my end, which was not that bad, but I didn't watch the whole thing, so. Okay, I need to pay more attention.
Or maybe Horai, you should keep talking about lag, because when you did, you went up a crazy amount in the first card so early and secured that card as well. So I was just one card away from evening the set up at 2-2. Oh, and we're seeing some of that lag on spectator. The wides looking extremely scary, glitching back a little bit, but again, we don't know. Oh, what the
Oh, I
heck?
actually felt lag there.
Yeah,
That was so bad that I felt it.
and Javara still missing in action. Taken out by his own mic. We can
If
sometimes
it keeps getting
No.
worse, I might like stop
Okay.
doing tournaments for a bit. But like
It's-
it's weird because sometimes people say it's fine, so I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea how to tell when it's happening because I need like I still feel a little lag sometimes, but not nearly as much as what's being reported to me by my opponents.
So I know you're 4-1 up, and this is a very important situation for you to even up the set. But are you on Wi-Fi or Ethernet?
Wi-Fi, unfortunately, and I cannot upgrade right this moment.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But I think that might have something to do with it. But might also be this new laptop. Something wrong with it.
Oh, it's a new
I'm
laptop.
looking into it.
If it's a
Oh
new
yeah,
laptop,
this is not the laptop I used before. This one's like more of a gaming laptop.
Game Freak's turning
No
their attack
way.
delay up.
He's going for the attack delay counter. I can't believe it.
But yeah, I think it's definitely maybe just a hardware issue in the laptop, maybe the Wi-Fi drivers or whatever, because I'm pretty sure people did not report this way back when you were playing originally.
Yeah. What does attack delay do?
It affects like the visibility, how stuff like appears, I think, and Zorn has like this entire write-up about attack delay versus Storm in Brazilian ping.
I should read it maybe. My attack delay is at 0 right now.
Really,
I don't think. What?
Did I change it?
I don't know.
Is my audio working?
Oh, you're very quiet.
Am I stable?
Right now.
Should I move it and gamble?
Well, you're very quiet, so maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna gamble. All right, how is this?
Oh, Game Freak and Horai swap
Probably tab into the
sides.
game. Okay.
Oh, I think it's good.
It's good now.
I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need to really be still because if I move it slightly, it's gonna die again.
Alright, but Horai starting off strong, maneuvering through the inner ring of wide perfectly, crossing sides without breaking a sweat, not even taking any hits, not slowing down, and Game Freak now has to find some setup, but no, the butterflies are enough there. Now charging the flower a little bit, blocking off the bottom passage, but Horai crossing along the top. And now channeling some diamonds, has to panic dodge a little bit, but the diamonds catching Game Freak. And now Game Freak maybe has to worry a little bit at 2 hearts. And with Horai's diamonds being quite a big problem for Game Freak, especially with that flower down. The diamond's about to come out again. So has to be careful on the approach. Game Freak really likes playing up close just to get that flower positioning, but here misses the angle, manages to get a hit back, but that was a crucial missed angle on the ring of wides.
Alright, still has a chance. He's doing some diamond spam. He has the safe distance to do it and forces a hit, and now Game Freak is down to his last card. Suddenly went from sweeping to getting sweeped.
Yeah, what
It's
a
gotta be stressful.
what a reversal from earlier in the set. It looked like Game Freak was just gonna take it, but Horai just playing better, I guess.
Except there, he gets bonked, but
Yeah, that
How the
butterfly.
heck is... How does Game Freak know the term SST, by the way?
That's a good question.
Do people
He
still
speaks-
use it?
he worships Eiley, so he knows like,
Oh yeah,
everything in Eiley's mind.
it
he
always
knows.
says it. It always says SST.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
some
Game
crazy
Freak is
dodges
like,
by
oh,
Horai,
that
but
was
unfortunately.
insane.
But I died in the ring.
that was pretty crazy.
How long has Game Freak been playing?
Game Freak? When did Game Freak? Game Freak started along the time. It's been like 1 year now, right? Ish.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been like exactly 1 year, and we're headed to final card. Both players just need to take this one to take the set. Alright, and Horai dispels in time to not get hit by that basic. Game Freak looking for some more basics in that bottom corridor.
Oh my god, it died again.
Oh no.
Am I back?
You're back. Alright, and Horai making some crazy micro dodges to get out of that situation. Manages to continue to stay alive. Finally burns a dispel and almost breakfast setups Game Freak, but Game Freak getting out of there just in time. Dodging the wides, dodging diamonds, and
Oh, did I get pushed into that wide?
yeah,
Oh my gosh,
Horai
dispel was
hitting the
down.
wide. And now Horai unfortunately slightly off on the timing to cross that flower. 1 heart left, and Game Freak with a monumental lead as the walls close in. With the setup as well, it's going to be almost impossible for Horai to take this, but still staying alive at the moment. Trying to buy a little bit of time.
Uh-oh, he runs right
damn
into the
it.
wide, and that's it.
That was horrible.
Alright, that knocks down Ori
Good
to
games, Game Freak.
that bracket that I'm in,
Yep.
the losers one. Oh?
Hello. I thought I would come to provide the Game Freak lore because it appears that people don't know it 100%.
All right.
So Game Freak started playing on April 30th, 2022, and entered my first beginner tournament with 1 hour in the game, and then proceeded to get second at my second one, which was I think 2 weeks later, and then won the third one, and has been on an upward trajectory ever since then.
Damn, thanks.
Has always played only Lich.
All right.
I had to fight J Feather 6.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
It's a good thing. I like fighting J Feather 6.
This is like the coffee
Okay.
pasta where it's like Dubu's full name, Dubuthi, only to be used when scolding.
What are you
That-
talking about?
That's too niche of a reference. I'm sorry.
I don't want to know this about Dubu.
Anyway, there's your lore. Have fun with the tournament.
Thanks for the
Okay.
lore, Max.
Thank you, pit stop commentator. There he goes. Wait. What?
What happened?
This is Rem versus J Feather.
Wait,
Oh, wait, no.
No, this is you versus J Feather.
Never mind. I'm noobing.
I knew
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna put 30 on me. Now, if you guys want to bet on me, you have to bet double what I bet, and then if you want to keep betting, you have to bet double what the other person bet.
What did you bet?
I bet 30,
Okay, I'll bet 10.
which means someone else, if they bet for me, has to do 60, and the next person has to do 120, and it just keeps going.
I don't think that's actually going to happen.
What are these low value bets? None of you are gonna reach 150,000.
Oh my god. Okay,
Actually,
look. No, Sarah, you know
I,
what you should do? You should have a channel point redeem if my mic's gonna go out in the first card.
That's just a guaranteed payout. Who would bet against that ever?
No,
wait,
like
150,000 to get VIP? That's
Yeah,
I have like
I'm
an
gonna move it up
legit-
whenever someone can afford it.
interesting.
Oh my god, that's why you have to stealth buy. Okay, so I'm fighting J Feather.
Actually, I should change it. Instead of get VIP, it should be name a tournament after you.
I don't care. Oh
That's how
my god.
Javaro got the Javaro qualifier.
No,
I
Javaro
got
did some things involving sponsorships that helped out a large amount in terms of funding the invitational.
Okay, then explain the OJJ qualifier. What was up with that? Did OJJ help fund some invitational?
No, I was just out of ideas for a name.
Oh.
Anyway,
Pretty
it's
sure that's where the name OJJ comes from.
OJJ.
Someone was out of ideas for a name one day.
Oh right, yeah. Well, it's pretty fitting, and as Javaro is on the Frost. I guess Javaro doesn't
Yeah.
go easy on J-Feather.
I thought he was gonna do a Frostmere. If I knew he was gonna go Lich, I would have picked Lich.
Would have done a Lich mirror.
Yeah, but Javaro is Spell Awakened Enjoyer, and this is not a fair pick because Javaro gets Bravery and the Lich does not.
It's true, I do get Bravery.
And that, like, Edge Stun Wave was definitely a bit of a stage counter pick. I don't see that hitting on any other stage.
They should give every character bravery in this stage, just so that it would mean something.
I should actually turn Bravery on. I might do that after this.
The problem is, like, the actual shots don't change. Imagine if they did. It would be so cool.
Oh, I mean the actual shots should change.
Yeah.
To give people a reason to use this stage. Like,
Hey,
this
Rainbow
is my
Colored
least
Bullets.
favorite stage.
I
Because
love
of
this
how much it
stage.
blends in with Red Hood.
Oh.
It's cool in the game, in the actual game. It's not cool when you're fighting freaking Red Hoods or Red Arcanists or Red Depths.
That is true. But Javaro just staying pretty stable, but J-Feather at 1 heart has been here for a hot minute.
Just keep.
And as Javaro's mic goes out, if we had made that prediction, it would have been free money for whoever made the right choice.
Okay, is it better?
Yep.
I smacked it. Let's go.
Alright, and Javaro has to stay alive here, has to roll through the waves. And J-Feather might want to find a way down to try and wall off that again, but Javaro kind of running a little free here. But gives a little bit of an opening to J-Feather while pressing the wide button, and now this might be disastrous as J-Feather is just looking to close it out here. But Javaro finds the stun wave.
Okay, that was
That
one
was
of the
so-
coolest moves they've seen in a while.
That was so close, man.
Rip Lich though.
Wait, Javaro, how did you have perfect timing? Because as soon as like you got that hit, Bravery like transition happened.
That's so awesome. Oh my god. It's always so hype, these tournaments. It's amazing.
The person who regularly throws their matches says, so hype these tourneys.
What's wrong with it? No, like, it is though. Are they not hype? Are you disagreeing with me?
I mean, it is pretty hype, but like, when you think about the context behind why Javaro is in losers, you start to question it a little.
Oh my god, what are you saying? Uh-oh. I can't believe this. Accusing me of manufacturing hype.
That's exactly what I'm doing. As Javaro just pumping out the basics, they're finally getting hit while trying to cross, trying to find some pressure on the opposite side, but those butterflies seem a little clumped up. And
No, it's a strat, it's legit.
true, machine gun butterfly.
I'm definitely a machine gun butterfly enjoyer. Oh jeez, this is actually. Oh, whoops, I messed up my dodge.
Yep, and Javaro makes a bit of a blunder, but no such blunder occurs while exiting that flower. And has to play carefully on the right side, very limited room to move, but might decide to cross soon. Maybe not, as J-Feather setting up the wides, but gets hit crucially, and now Javaro trying to set up and rolls in as soon as the flower disappears. Unable to like get anything concrete out of that though.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Thanks, Flower. You really did your job there.
No, don't do that. Game Freak already hates that so much.
Alright.
Wait. Ah, it's too late. I forgot. I wanted to switch to Lich.
Oh. J-Feather with the I don't care.
Is this gonna be a Lich mirror?
Quite possibly. Most likely, in fact.
Alright, wow.
Wait, you guys gave me. I could just do a double juke. That would be really funny.
That would be yet another reason to disqualify Javaro.
Why? Oh my god, I just keep pushing the tourneys, but it's so funny.
I feel like if the winner edits their Switch the loser should get a chance to re-edit their Switch. Is my microphone buzzing?
No.
Maybe just on my end.
All right, I'm ready.
Hi, ready.
Oh my god, I'm like, on one hand I want to keep playing, but on the other hand I want to leave and eat. I'm hungry.
Food is overrated.
I mean, there's quite a bit of time between this set and the next one, even if you win, so you can eat between that. There's like a significant amount of time. Unless you have to go out to get food, in which case, yeah, that's a bit of a unfortunate occurrence.
Oh, what? He
Javaro's
beat
first
me?
flower of the match gets instantly eaten by AJ Feathers. You hate to see it.
Yeah, and Javaro definitely not a fan of quote-unquote unethical moves like Frost Roll and Lich Flower, so I don't think we'll be seeing too many flowers from Javaro in this game. Definitely a bit of a dodging purist.
Oh, ouch.
You have to wonder why he doesn't just go play a single-player dodging game instead.
My flower got eaten twice, man. The only
This
way
is-
I win is when my opponents, like, they try to steal my flowers and they fail. Oh, I got baited. Oh my god. Every time, like, I put a flower down to get hit. This is why I don't use that stupid ability.
This matchup is more like chess than Maiden and Spell, to be honest.
This matchup is about making geometry.
This is the most unique matchup in the game, I think. I hope you've watched enough chess anime to be prepared for this, Javaro, or you're gonna have a bad time.
I haven't, unfortunately.
So, watch any chess anime? Unbelievable.
I don't watch any chess anime. No. Wait. Whoops. I'm noobing.
And Javaro making a series of blunders so far. Had a bit of a lead, but now it's even. And Jfeather in position to take this card with a superior setup.
Feather eating 2 butterflies. Javaro having trouble finding a chance to eat any. Bit of a rough
Hard.
spot for Javaro. Ooh, nice dodge by Javaro, though. Even got a butterfly.
Yeah, but you have to wonder if it's too little too late. But Jfeather getting bonked, and now it's looking quite doable for Javaro if he can keep up the setup and not get his flower eaten instantly.
Well,
Okay, that time it was fair. Like,
at
the
least
other
that time
time-
it worked.
like every other time, like, the game noobs and, like, picks on me for some reason. But that time it was fair. Oh, whoops.
Javaro piling up all the butterflies, just waiting for Jfeather to eat them.
I made a trapezoidal. Uh-oh.
I was a little
Jfeather.
tilted, that wasn't quite a trapezoid. Sorry.
I'm gonna try one more time on Lich.
Javaro
Okay.
continuing to explore alternative ways in a tournament setting.
Despite winning against Jfeather with Frost.
Arcane
I
Chicken,
swear.
Arcane Chicken's channel points depend on you, Javaro. You can't let Arcane Chicken down. Wait, who did you bet on, Javaro?
Wait, who did I bet on? I don't think I bet. Oh, no,
Okay,
I bet on
okay.
myself.
Okay. If you
I
bet
bet
on
on Jfeather just to troll you.
if you bet on
I have no idea
Jfeather,
who's gonna win.
Javaro, if you bet on Jfeather, this is match fixing.
Oh shoot, I should have done that then. That's a great idea. Oh my god. There's gonna be so much like if MS were a bigger game, I'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah,
It's so
why are you
funny.
attracted to games with like?
As if channel points matter.
I mean, they will matter.
I mean, if you want to throw a game for channel points, go right the hell ahead. That would be my stance anyway.
Alright, but Javaro looking extremely clean in this first card. Jfeather may be getting a little bit impatient towards the end of it, and
Oh. Well, that's the bottom line for you.
yup,
Oh my god. I'm getting my
Javaro.
groove.
out here with a bit of a Flower Novi fire.
I'm getting my groove.
Dancing
Oh my
around,
God.
but wow, Jfeather was actually in position to just take over the game, but bonks twice, and
If I were Jfeather, I would have eaten all 3 of those butterflies. Just like real butterflies.
He stalled it out because he was trying to. He knows I'm trying to flower parry him because you see me do it to Game Freak so many
Oh,
times.
wow, good job, Javaro. You turned it around. Actually, I changed my mind about the losing a match for channel points thing, because if we allowed that, that could get out of hand.
Yeah,
Not
bestie
that
bucks are
I
important.
don't have an affiliate channel, so like I'm not gonna have to make that decision for a long time. I don't even know if I'm gonna host any tournaments again.
This
But
is so sad.
what I will say is that like allowing that could get out of hand. People enter tournaments to get serious games, and even if Javaro doesn't play seriously, the point is still to try to win. You know?
Yeah, and
I'm like, what?
I was gonna say Javar on the end of another unfortunate flower interaction.
I'm like, Jfeather like owns me. I can beat Game Freak at it, but Jfeather like owns me with this. I don't understand.
And
Also, I'm like sweating right now. Like, you don't understand.
okay, but maybe slipping a little bit as Javaro bonks, and now Jfeather looking to have the superior setup here. Javaro looking for a bit of a catch on Jfeather moving, but overall the, I guess, Lich strategy gameplay has been definitely in Jfeather's favor. But that melee, fantastic from Javaro, punishing Jfeather's approach, and now it's all evened up. It all depends on the dodging and the setup. Javaro looking to have better dodging, but Jfeather definitely with the scarier setup, so quite even match right now.
Oh, that dodging was so good for a second. It's insane. If I got away with that, that would have been like, that would have been it. Went crazy.
Javaro laments the last part of the dodging, but as Jfeather bonks, it is 1-1. Javaro just needs to survive for a little bit longer, but so does Jfeather, because both players, it's going to be so hard to just stay alive.
Getting the flower closer and more spread out is probably going to be helpful. And
My
eating
God.
Jay's flowers, nice. Okay, good job, Javaro.
Jfeather, he keeps freaking beating me in this interaction. I don't understand.
And even though Javaro says that, he makes a series of fantastic dodges near the bottom wall, with last card securing him the card, and still continues to make those dodges right now. And you have to wonder, for someone as good at dodging as Javaro, imagine how well they would do if they played seriously every set.
What do you? I'm like playing seriously. It's just an alternate strat. I promise. Like, I'm really like. What do you think I'm dodging? Oh god.
Okay, Javaro getting out of a bit of a sticky situation in the corner. The butterfly shot starting to pile up, but Javaro finding the window to move out, the gap in the timing, and now setting up the wides, trying to make it scary for Jfeather. The vertical shots as well mixed in, and that butterfly on the far left shoots its final shot, and wow, a flower trade as well.
Hard to avoid butterfly pile up this late in the game.
It's getting hard to see. I can't see.
Do you have bravery on?
You're not the one named after a blind character, Gabe.
No, I don't have it. I don't have it. It's just like
Freak.
it's hard to see. What are you saying, alright?
Oh, I just said well, first of all, I accidentally called you Game Freak, so oops. But
No
second,
way.
you said
That's
you
a
can't
flex.
see, but at least you're not the person who's named after a blind character.
Wait, who's the term blind character?
Jfeather?
Feather.
Oh, I didn't know that. Also, what kind of flower interaction is that? How did I win
Yeah.
that? Wait, have I discovered new tech?
Maven probably knew it.
And Javaro takes that game.
You hear that, Game Freak? They called me you. That's a huge flex. Oh my god. I'm running with that. I do not know Warrior Cat lore. Also, Sayo, when you were talking about my dodging, I thought you were gonna say I'd be so much better if I was on a controller. Should have been so much funnier.
That would be the thing to say.
Oh my god, Eiley would have said it.
Yep.
The MU
Oh, did
makes me
Javaro
go
win?
blind.
Darn,
Yep.
that means I lose my prediction. Hey,
Yep.
by the
This is
way,
so sad.
should I... Could I be a mod for this stream? I'm a little afraid to ask because I will lose my ability to predict things.
You can
But,
still
you know.
predict.
You
You can still predict.
Wait, you can?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
they change that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Just
awesome.
type in chat.
Oh, how do wait? How
Just
do I
say
do that?
something in chat. I'm too lazy to
Oh,
like find your
okay.
profile.
Oh, I have to follow you. Whoops. Why was I
Dude.
not following you? That's interesting.
Fake fan. It's so over. Oh wait, Shadowpelt versus Horai now, right?
Yeah. Let me summarize Warrior Cat's lore for you briefly, by the way, so that you're caught up. Oh, thanks for modizing me. Let me go to mod view.
So
Oh, this sucks. Yes, okay, though.
so are you going to summarize the lore while playing in Shadowpelt?
Yeah, let me think. I don't know. I was gonna try to come up with a quick witty summary, but I can't really think of it because a lot of things happen.
Alright, but Shadowpelt asking you okay with Spell Awakened. Oh, and you say a different stage. Any other stage. Huh, any other? Really?
The other stage. That is literally
Okay, go to rain stage.
Oh, not that
Rain
one.
stage is the second worst stage, but it's not that bad.
It is my least favorite music. Like, the song in like a vacuum is fine, but in the context of a Maiden and Spell game, it just feels like it is nothing.
Yeah. My favorite
Also-
stage is the X2 stage. But I
My
usually just do dual box because people like that.
It only cut out once, yeah, and it hasn't cut out again since. So like,
No, it was cutting out a little bit. Your volume was questionable, and Horai pulling out the Arcanist.
yo, arc.
You're so quiet right now, Javaro.
Okay, what about this?
Better.
It actually is my head tilt. Okay, what about this?
Oh, and the game took so long. It's fine, but a little quieter.
It actually is based on my head tilt. I can't believe this.
I mean, is that really surprising?
Whoa, what do you mean? Wait, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to make sure, because like, sometimes it doesn't work.
And Shadowpelt goes in for a hype melee attempt, goes for Novi Fire as well, but that doesn't connect. And Horai with a defensive claw catching Shadowpelt out with the wide, and oh no, Shadowpelt
Yeah, that was interesting.
going in for a melee attempt, but Horai running alongside the basic.
I thought that paralyze hit, but it did not.
Yep, and Horai tries to punish the Novi Fire with a basic, doesn't connect. Might wanted to have spam debuffs, but it doesn't matter as the moon crashes down. Damn, words are so long.
What do you mean?
Like, when you're trying to play-by-play Maiden and Spell, by the time you start saying something, another thing happens.
We need to invent like a well, actually, that's what game language is. We need to use one game to shorten things.
Yeah, that's why people say like DS instead of defensive special. And Paul Horai just cleans it up in the first game with the Arcanist.
Excellently done, Morai.
Thanks. Have to get used to playing Arcanist on this controller because she's kind of hard to play because she requires using a lot of buttons at the same time. And my controller's buttons are too big and spaced apart. Maybe I just need a new freaking controller, man.
I could use a new mic.
True. If you have a micro center near you, I will subsidize the cost of a new mic.
Okay, let me look up Micro Center.
While he does that, Horai is busy getting hit by Shadowpelt, but manages to get a return hit and is up 3-1, looking pretty dominant. Gets the time stop, gets the debuffs, gets the moon as well. Perfectly timed, not perfectly, but very, very well timed. The minuscule Novi Fire looking not scary at all as
Oh
Horai
my
just
god,
cleans it
Shadowpelt
up.
almost survived that.
Yeah, and now Shadowpelt looking to be a little more aggressive, but the safety of the clock, the Novi Fire
Oh my gosh,
perfectly
I should not have done
used.
that. Whatever, I got paralyzed and slow. I had the chance.
Yeah, and that
Even got a hit.
paralyze earning that hit with the basic, stopping Shadowpelt in their tracks. And yet again, Shadowpelt getting hit once more, trying to find an angle in. Gets
That was
Novi
not very smart
Fire.
of me.
And it's looking kind of winnable for Shadow Pellet here. Just needs one more hit to take this card, but bonks on the wide, and it's starting to look a little hopeless because they have to navigate the wide and the debuffs here. Horai just standing still with the wide, knows that Shadow Pellet is the one who has to approach, and Shadow Pellet gets wide checked.
It's unfortunate.
Alright, game 3. Will anything change? Shadow Pellet saying, I can dodge that. Today's not my day, and but maybe the next game will be their game. It's still possible.
It is very possible.
Welcome back, Javaro.
Okay, thank you. Say I definitely.
I've noticed you don't mispronounce Horai's name.
Is it Orai or Horai?
Oh, that's how you mispronounce it.
What?
So for context, Javaro is notorious for finding ways to mispronounce every single player, person, individual's name. Illy being pronounced Ailey,
Highly.
Saya into Saya, Skipe into, what was it again? Skypay? That stopped
Skypay.
though.
Well, technically, Horai isn't perfect pronunciation, since it's like a Japanese word. It's more like Horai, but it's not like I care. Horai.
Well, like
is
I
just-
don't find ways to do it. It just happens, Saya.
I feel like it's a habit.
No, I thought Shadowfelt was gonna do that.
Oh, that's so unlucky for Shadow Pellet though.
That was unlucky.
I do not think there is a good Mike store nearby me. Saya.
Micro Center not near you?
No.
No, I got Death Tool.
I don't think so.
Are you kidding me?
Death Toll
Oh, okay,
almost
and
matters.
Confused. I guess that helped. I think the Confused actually made me win.
Okay, so this is like 2 minus 0. Oh wait, no, it's 3 minus 0. Never mind.
The what?
I said it's 3 minus 0.
Okay. Warrior Cats, lore, and plot summarize. Once upon a time, in the very beginning, there were a bunch of cats who lived in these like tunnels and such. But then they decided the tunnels sucked because they kept fucking killing them. So the cats went to the mountains. But then they decided the mountains suck because a lot of them kept dying there because mountains are kind of a sucky place to live, you know? So, so then they decided, oh, that's not Rem, is it? So then they decided to, well, a lot of them really liked the mountain, so they decided to stay in the mountain anyway. But then the rest of them decided to go to the other side of the mountain. So they went to the other side of the mountain, but then they decided they all hated each other, so they got into a fight. But then all the ghosts of the cats who died in the fight started yelling at them to stop fighting. So they stopped fighting. And then, what happened next? Oh yeah, so then they made a bunch of clans, and that's how there came to be the 4 clans in the forest. Except there were actually 5, but oh, spoiler alert. Yeah, there were actually 5 in the beginning, but one of them I think was like cursed to be kicked out of the forest eventually because the person who was in charge of that clan sucked. So, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't really a curse, but it was prophesied from the beginning that they would have to get kicked out. Okay, so anyway, a lot later, several years later, the leader of one of the 5 clans, I can't remember if there were 5 or 4 at the time. One of the leaders of those clans, Thunder Clan, was named Oakstar, who really sucked and was a terrible leader. And he was the cause of all of the problems in like the rest of everything. But he's not very important to the story. I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, several years later, Thunder Clan is on the decline because there are way less cats in Thunder Clan than there will ever be for the rest of the series, because the people writing the series did not account for how fast those cats breed at the beginning of writing the series. So there were just way less characters in the beginning, and that's why people remember all their names. Anyway, Thunder Clan really sucks, and this other clan, named the Shadow Clan, so you can tell they're evil, is getting really powerful because a really bad leader is in charge of them, and there's literally no reason anybody should have agreed to make him leader, but for some absurd reason that was never explained since it's a children's book, they go along with it anyway. Oh, let's commentate this match, actually.
I
Game
kind
Freak
of
already
like.
down 2 points.
Well, um, I I kind of liked the cats.
Yeah, as
Oh yeah,
expected
I
from
didn't even
a
get to the main plot yet, but I was trying to summarize all the prequel lore.
as expected from a Super Animal Royale player.
I it's a coincidence, Saya, and I play Fox. I don't even play Cat. Like Cat's like the second noobiest character you can be.
If you squint at the fox long enough, it starts looking like a cat.
Okay, that's a stretch. Look, at least it's not like that weird bird thing that looks like that's so newbie. Oh my god. Like
Oh.
Game Freak has perfected like the noob disguise.
Game Freak might need a little bit to like warm up here. The gameplay not looking as crisp or as clean as it did, but I'm gonna be honest. Game Freak's gameplay did not look clean versus Horai either until the very end. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
It's because I used a secret technique, to be fair.
It's true. He used SST. No, Game Freak is like a little odd here because normally, like when he plays, he does better earlier in bracket, and then you start struggling a little bit later. But this time it seems like he's struggling all the way through, so it seems to be a bit of a different strategy.
and
He's doing pretty well with the dodge.
you're getting a little quiet, Javaro.
Okay. Is this that better?
You got even quieter.
No.
Alright, but Game Freak trying to chase Rem around a little bit and finally succeeds, and with the setup so in place, the wall is about to close in. And Game Freak at a 1 heart, no, now a 0 heart lead. Still looking a little good for Game Freak in this endgame.
Gosh, this is so bad. Okay. What? What do you think I'd say?
No, it was just like you saying this is so finicky, like staticked out.
Oh my god.
Alright.
This is actually. Okay, so we've got Game Freak versus Rem. Game Freak is 1 heart, 1 card to Rem's 2 heart, 2 cards. They've got some nice matching going on. Rem used Vanish, Game Freak going in, putting down like a double flower. Rem gets hit. Now it's 1-1. Game Freak does not quite have a setup. It's coming together, but he's still got to get it going. Actually opting for synced butterflies, but he gets hit.
And that's so unfortunate because Game Freak, I feel like Game Freak had that endgame on that card, but ends up wobbling into the tail end of the red basic.
We'll see what happens this next game. Are you staying? Can't believe this. Game Freak trying to make this official.
A Game Freak switch is extremely rare, but are we gonna see it
This
here?
would be the first time we would be seeing a different character if it's from Game Freak 9.
If it's not Blue
Don't
Lich,
tell
it could
me.
be Blue Lich. It really, I think it's Blue Lich.
It's true. Oh
It's
my
Blue
god,
Lich.
it's Blue Lich.
Alright.
Game Freak. Oh.
Maybe this is a change of pace Game Freak needs, but I feel like blue is more, it's like easier to notice compared to the alt lich color.
Well, that could be part of the plan. He could be trying to intimidate. Like if you see more mass coming at you, you get more scared and second guess your dodges.
But Game Freak,
Like, whereas
oh, I interrupted you again. We're getting back into that.
this is so bad. I can't believe it. You would have thought like after my commentary on OS, I'd be so good.
The thing is, your mic isn't as good.
This reminds me,
I'm
Of my
trolling.
favorite knock knock joke, the interrupting commentator.
Oh no.
Alright, but Game Freak in not the greatest position here, bonking on the top of that basic. On the bottom, actually. No, on the top. What am I saying? Whatever. Someone else take
Uh,
over.
okay, so Game Freak like this counter pick is not working very well for him. Like I think the more noticeable objects is actually scaring him off when it comes to playing. As we know, Game Freak has recently switched off of using bullet transparency on, or I mean off, so he can see, like, he's not as used to being able to see his projectiles, so them being invisible might be part of the reason. Even so, no hits yet. Game Freak taking up a lot of space, getting set up on this side
Nice
now.
flower placement too. And the wall is up right after Rem used Vanish, so Rem in a bit of a tight spot, but with no butterflies in that little section and the flower going down, I think this is doable. Okay, there comes the butterfly. Rem is in trouble. Ooh, yeah. Good job by Game Freak there.
Excellently done.
That's unfortunate though.
A quick bonk kind of resets this, but Game Freak still has some setup, although he's neglecting it a little bit, trying to put some pressure on. Now he's down to just 3 butterflies. He gets 4 up, but the positioning isn't the greatest, I think.
Yeah, and
Uh,
despite that, Game Freak stabilizing a little bit, Rem going for the cross. And as that flower disappears, Rem has so much room to play with. Game Freak puts it back up, but the wides are gone.
All of a sudden, it seems like Game Freak's lead has just disappeared. I'm not even sure what Game Freak died to just there, but
he got hit by a basic, it seems, and that brings us
oh,
down to 2-0. This game was a little bit more convincing for Rem than the first game. Game Freak noticing that he did worse and thinking about maybe changing up. Yep, he's going back to Pink Lich. Embracing the power of Maven has left him unable to play anything else other than Pink Lich and use aggressive strategies. Game Freak now down to the last game before getting knocked into losers.
Alright, and Game Freak going for quite a bit of flower charge now. And wow, what a difference in the color palette the Lich switch makes.
Yeah, it's no wonder he tried. He may have legitimately thought there was going to be a difference made. And there was. It actually was worse for him. Gets hit early. His setup is not really there yet. In fact, he doesn't have one flower up. He's going to try and fix that right now. And does so. Rem taking it nice and slow, just dodging in the back, maintaining his space, going over a little bit. Neither player really getting hit. Good dodge from Rem.
Yeah, and Game Freak, as the walls are closing in rapidly because that hit was relatively early in the game, trying to go for like the 4-corner setup, but Rem not getting caught by it, and Game Freak the one getting caught up in the bottom left corner. So
almost thought Game Freak would be able to do those micros. Oh, it looks like he picked the wrong place to start that wide too. Started the wide on right on top of Rem's wide as it spawned. Hate it when that happens.
yeah, and however, Game Freak looking a little good. Like, it might be caster cursing it, but looking kind of okay. But no, runs alongside the knives, and that card is erased. Alright, Game Freak starting off with pretty standard set of flower into butterfly wide. Kind of weird, but definitely one of the more safe things to do. As Rem just peels back, sets up the knives, and I don't know, maybe it was like a consequence of Rem's bracket that red is being picked, but I would think they would pick Sun. Maybe they just don't want to play it into Lich.
Sun took a hit in the latest balance patch with those Lich changes. The faster flower cooldown is a huge deal for that matchup, unfortunately. But might just kind of just is what it is, honestly. I feel like we could change Lich in better ways, but I'm still thinking about it.
A little confused, Saya. Why do you think Rem wasn't playing Hood? I mean, wasn't playing Sun?
Because of the Lich matchup, the Sun Lich matchup.
Rem likes difficult matchups, though. I mean, I think part of the reason why he didn't want Sun buffed was because he wanted Sun to be a bad character.
Remdo sitting in grand finals right now, as loser semifinals is between the two people with me on stream, Javaro
Oh.
and Horai.
Yeah. Well, I agree that Sun shouldn't be buffed, but at least not really.
This
Can't
also
think
isn't
of a good Sun
losers,
buff.
finals, losers, semis.
Yeah, it's loser semis.
Okay. 1 sec.
Wait, y'all already
Okay.
there? Wow, that was fast.
So starting in
said,
book
didn't I?
1 of the Warrior series, there's some random house cat who meets all the wild clan cats and then decides to join one of them, almost as if they were specifically targeting him to join from the beginning, which they were, spoiler alert.
Yo, let's go, I won.
You won? You can't say that before the set starts.
No, I'm talking about the bet between Game Freak and Ram. Oh my god, say it, you make me out to be like the most toxic player.
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit your fault. Maybe a small amount.
What am I doing?
I'm playing versus Horai, the people's champ.
Oh my god, this is so sad.
You know, come to think of it, maybe this matchup isn't the best time to explain Warrior's lore.
Definitely.
Also, you got hit by a basic that was nowhere near you on my screen, so I'm wondering if that was like some weird lag shenanigan.
Horai full focus mode, but Javaro just grabs
Man.
Horai out of the air in the
I
vanish.
didn't even get my Vanish.
I do like the idea of Frost just grabbing Hood. Uh-oh. Oh god.
So how does stun wave work?
I always thought of it like a grapple.
I can't believe they gave the grappler a low cooldown invulnerability dash.
It's crazy.
The
I can
whole
just run
game
up
was
to you and grab
designed
you.
around Frost's dash, the single player anyway.
Oh,
I can't stun.
the wall
Oh my
assisted
god.
Kate stun. Javaro
Thanks, what?
chooses the
That's
wrong
wall.
wall to line it up on.
No, but
I can't believe the game is trolling me.
Alright, this time Horai manages
What?
to get out but gets hit immediately afterwards.
I don't even know. I threw wide and it like I got a hit. Oh god.
Horai going for a little bit of snipe action doesn't end up panning out. Javaro rolling in, looking for some wide mix, but Horai just vanishes out of there and gets caught by the stun wave, and Javaro going for a little bit of style with the unfocused basic punish. But Javaro will never be white
okay.
rice.
I will never. It's so sad. Oh god. It's okay. Look, let's turn this down. No, I'm icing you out. I'm not dealing with it. Oh my god.
Javaro was almost in a bit of a bind there. I feel like the return of Horai has made me want to use that bit way more.
did you still use it while I was gone?
I use it like I use it like once every 2 tournaments, but whenever I use it like twice.
Oh.
It's so funny. Oh god. Okay, good. Your ultimate is off now. I feel safe. You know, the only reason I didn't get hit there is because my finger slipped off the left movement key. That's so funny.
Well, I'm glad to have left some impact on this community. Other than begging for sun buffs all the time, then finally getting the buff I wanted, only to have it instantly removed because people decided it was bad for the character that's best against sun right now.
Alright,
what character is
Javaro
that?
taking the first game.
Okay, you know what? I'm switching.
Hi,
And in fact, you
switching.
know what? Since we're in the same voice channel, I'm not even going to write what I'm switching to in chat. I'm just going to say it to you.
Oh my god, using my strat against me.
I'm switching to sun.
But Javaro, where are you staying?
I
Oh,
thought-
bye, Shadow Pelt.
See a shadow
Yeah.
pelt. Oh yeah, Max
rather
asks what buff was it?
Oh, it was the slightly longer lingering basic than the current one.
Oh wait, that got
Which made-
removed?
It did because people decided it was too bad for depth, even though I tested it and proved otherwise. And now depth is like one of Sun's worst matchups.
Wait, I'm so confused. I swear that stayed in. Maybe I've
The
just
lingering base 6 stayed in, but it was just a little bit longer.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right, I mean. Okay, no. What are you?
The network needs to stabilize in the beginning. Javaro getting jump scared a
Oh
little
my
bit, continuing
god.
to get
What am
jump
I?
scared.
How are you supposed to fight that? Okay, no. You know what? Like, I need to like ultra sweat. I believe.
Javaro continuing to dodge very, very well as Horai tries to go for some wides. Stun waves defensively and now is stuck a little bit into the spell, but no, just waltzes out and gets a what?
What happened?
Wait. Okay, that's just some spectator weirdness because it felt like you were in that basic for a year and went for it, but you rolled out, so I guess it was a pretty safe decision.
I don't know. The game is slowing down and speeding up at random. Like, it's so funny.
Javaro still yet to take a hit. The dodging coming out in full force.
Planning to distract Javaro with Warrior Cat's lore, but I don't remember it off the top of my head, so it's hard to like do it while fighting.
It is tough. I will admit that the lore is very distracting. My mind actually shuts off when you start talking about it.
I'll finish it some other time.
Alright, Javaro still one heart ahead. Goes for a stun wave, gets it. Doesn't do anything funny, just takes the hit. And now is mixing up some unfocused basics to try and throw Horai off a little bit on the dodging. Doesn't happen. Goes for the wise, but doesn't connect either. And Horai trying to breakfast Javaro a little bit at the top wall. Finally gets a hit, but feels a bit more spontaneous than the other hits that were a threat.
Oh my god, I'm so freaking scared to dodge. It's ridiculous.
What?
If
Okay.
I didn't hit you, I was getting hit there. It spawned on me.
Alright, Javaro continuing on the offense, putting out some pressure. Horai forced to dispel against that wide threat, and Javaro finally getting caught by those diamonds as he forces his way in. Continues to do so, and the center of the focus basic catches Horai. Goes for a stun wave a little too early. The influence still there for Horai, so Javaro not getting the hit, but finally getting one here at the bottom left corner. Going for some more melee action, has to roll out. Barely can't make it out of that one. And so the game continues. Dispel Burn to keep Javaro off, and Javaro forced to retreat for a little bit, but immediately rolls back in, going for some pressure, going for a stun wave, going for wides, but none of those connecting on Horai as of yet. And Horai continuing to back up to the left wall, but maybe not what you want to do. Forced to micro quite a bit, and finally gets caught up by the basics, the third round of them. And Javaro looking really good, takes the the second game of the set.
I was gonna say this was still the freaking first game.
Alright, I'm staying. Well, Saya, if you have advice that's better than running away from Frost, I'd love to hear it. I really would.
Although I've seen this matchup quite a few times, I am very bad at both of these characters.
I think maybe if you like meleeed more after my stun wave is down.
Oh, no, I got it. So I'm pretty sure part of like the theory of this matchup is trying to stall as much as possible and
You should
actually
hit me
playing
up,
for
but-
the late game.
I mean, that's what I do.
Playing for
That's what
like,
running away from Frost does.
like a super basic heavy late game or something. I think that's what I remember barely.
True. Are you gonna hit rematch?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
we were
I
just
was worried. I'm glad the timer was increased to a minute.
Definitely one of the big quality of life changes, along with lobby size and what was it again? Song picker.
Oh yeah, the song picker was huge.
There's a
actually.
song picker. That's awesome. I should use that.
Yeah, it's really insane actually. Like I don't use it, but I know people love music, so.
I'm not gonna lie. It felt like for every time Frost got nerfed, there was a new Frost buff at the same time that I just hated.
I think Frost like needs roll removed or something.
I don't know, like we've had a ton of conversations when you weren't here, Horai, of like what you would do if like what people would do if they made it in Spell 2, what like big changes. And I think one thing that I'm pretty set on is I guess a universal defensive option and removing a lot of the spammable defensive options.
No frosts, no worms, no depths, and for the love of God, no storm beasts. That's what I'd do differently.
Or Frost.
You should do a gimmick tournament where that's the rule set.
That would be funny.
No, my change for frost would be frost, but nerfed so that nerfed, but in a way that wouldn't ruin the single player because it would be a different game.
I think like a lot of like what people.
What?
Oh, what the heck,
Yeah, I
Javaro!
pressed the button.
Javaro manages to bring that card back from the brink at 1 heart for a large part of that one. But I think a lot of what like people were saying is certain characters ignore the game a little too much, it feels like. And I feel like shoving the defensive option into a universal defensive option that can't be as spammed and changing like properties of characters to more extreme allows for more balance, because I think Maiden and Spell just doesn't have enough like things to balance. There are not enough variables that can be used.
I would agree with that. Kind of. Also, is my audio still on?
Oh, it's pretty quiet, but it is still audible.
Alright, it's fine.
Yeah, it's better.
Let's go! Oh god. Oh god.
Javaro says let's go, immediately gets trapped at the top wall, manages to get himself out from that sticky situation, and now we're headed to the super duper late game, the end game more like, as the walls are almost fully closed. Javaro makes a great dodge, moving up and down in that basics, and Horai manages to get the hit. Dispels right after, gets Javaro
What?
with the awareness making it out before getting hit by the basic, and now this end game's looking a lot more even as the walls have opened up a little bit more, so the basics aren't as scary for Javaro. And I'm starting to notice another big change, the color palette change, like of Moon Priestess, of the basic indicator. It used to be lighter, right? Now it's darker to match Sun.
I guess so. I thought it was changed so that like focus and unfocus were switched.
Oh wait, yeah, that's it. But we're seeing a lot of unfocus here, so
I
that's
think
why I noticed.
unfocused doesn't change, and focused is dark instead of light.
Huh. Maybe I'm just really bad at identifying which is focused and which is unfocused. Oh yeah, now I see it. Okay. But
What?
last heart for Horai here needs to close out this card. Javaro looking for the basic snipes, just slowly putting out the first part of the triple basic combo. Trying to catch Horai near a wall or something, but as the walls close in, Horai's basics get scarier. But as the walls close in, Javaro gets closer and closer to a roll stun wave, or even just a walk up stun wave. Has to make the dodges here, rolls through, has to make a decision, and finally gets hit by the setup. Alright, and Horai still needs to take this card to continue on in this set, in the tournament, but Javaro looking to get a lot of basic pressure here, trying to get a hit early, trying to make that endgame less accessible as well. And Javaro almost getting stuffed out by that basic, but managing to make his way through, doesn't press the stun wave, knowing that Horai will press the basics there, rolls through, has to avoid the basics still, and Javaro definitely, the gameplay looking a lot less free, and manages to survive that basic as well. And continuing to avoid the basics, finally has to roll through. The basic almost coming in from Horai to checkmate, but not quite enough. Trying to get a setup too, but Javaro still refusing to get hit. 4-4 at full battlefield limit. And now it's really how much can Javaro dodge while still outputting this focus basic pressure, because those basics are looking pretty Arcmoon-esque, but Horai finally gets hit, and suddenly the game opens up a little bit once again. Javaro still refusing to get hit by the diamonds or the wides or the basics, finally drifts into the side of a wide, and Horai just looking for the breakfast setup, trying to punish Javaro's roll out too, but Javaro managed to find the perfect angle to escape. Going for a bit of unfocused basic to try and mix it up, going for a wide to catch movement sideways, unable to. And Horai continues to dodge, but finally gets hit by a focused basic, and Javaro's once again in the lead, but that's equalized immediately by the tapped diamonds. And
Let's go.
I'm getting Hobo in here. I need help. Hi, Hobo.
Can't believe it. Commentary assist. Oh god,
Hello.
no. No,
I
no.
Need a better stream though, because I'm just watching the Twitch stream right now.
Alright, Horai is on 1 heart. Javaro is on 2. Last card situation of game 3. Javaro up 2-0, and I'm going to put the Discord stream up, and it's 1-1. If Horai takes this heart, then the set continues, but if it doesn't happen, then Javaro moves on. Javaro continuing to dodge the basics. Alright, Hobo. Who do you think is going to take this one?
Really, I'm gonna take it now, because this match really just seems like we're spinning in circles, which is just classic.
Oh, I just spaced it.
There we go.
And Javaro finally decides to pull the trigger on the stun wave, but the basic is there.
1 second. This is good. Oh my god.
Hi, Hobo. It's been a while.
It has her eye. I seen you last week, but it was Canadian Thanksgiving, so I couldn't join the tourney.
This is delicious. Holy moly.
While reunion's happening and we're going into game 4, Javaro is eating.
But say it's so good. Oh my god.
You don't get to say that, and not say what you're eating.
Okay, I'll tell you after this game.
Javaro trying to ice Horai out. A very long delay between games.
I'm not icing him out. I'm heating myself up. This is so good. My heart rate's going down. It's crazy.
Alright, Hobo. So,
What's so good?
Wait, is that next?
nerd, it's Horai.
Oh. If
Or
man,
circles.
we should eat. This is good.
Well, but you haven't told us what you're eating.
Hold on, I'm playing MS.
This is not okay, but both players still dodging. Javaro, I think, focusing more on the defense than the offense right now.
Like he's just trying to stick in the center a little bit. Horai's just going in circles around the walls.
Like, doesn't freaking get hit. It's ridiculous.
And I think you were saying, I remember someone saying that center control was pretty important in this matchup, or that Frost got it for free, or I don't even remember. But there was something about center control in this matchup that someone was talking about, but I can't remember.
I don't either. I just know center control has come up before in people futilely trying to analyze this game.
Alright, but Javaro not in the greatest of spots, got parried on the stun wave, and now at 1 heart. After those bonks as well. Horai just keeping up the defense, keeping up the basic pressure especially, and the basics really proving to be a bit of a difference maker as Horai is taking the lead in this 4th game. Alright, but Javaro, the dodging is still crisp.
Still staying back a whole bunch. Again, I don't remember how this matchup has changed over time insofar as whether Frost wants to be aggressive or not. Regardless of how Javaro normally plays her.
Yeah, and I think like the very confusing thing about this matchup is who wins at endgame. Because it's kind of hard to tell, because both characters kind of get fully activated at endgame, but who really has the advantage?
I almost
This matchup's even.
want to say Sun would have the and because of the power of basic, also that close together.
Yeah, and I think there's like a pretty significant difference between almost walls fully closed and walls fully closed in this matchup, because of how that basic covers the entire screen if you're at the center, and you have to go and duck into like the bottom right and left corners if you're Frost trying to focus basic here. Javaro not getting hit, continuing to focus basic pressure, and I think Horai was not expecting that, because Jivaro looked like he had to roll in that situation but doesn't, and had to roll here but doesn't. It's looking kind of nice for Jivaro in this situation. Jivaro just hanging back, but did I say Jivaro? I meant Horai.
Yeah, you
Horai
meant
up
Horai.
2-1 with a 2-1
Yeah.
card lead.
I mean, they are both hanging back here. All slowly closing again.
Yeah, that greedy doesn't work. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get a little bit more.
All right, but what were you eating?
Mm. This is better than usual. I wonder because I'm stressed.
What? Jivaro,
What?
stop stalling and tell us.
Bro, did you know a full stomach decreases reaction time? No way. That's crazy.
You don't tell us what we're eating. I'm going to assume it is Whiskas, tuna, and cheese drenched in sriracha. How about that?
Okay, I won't let people suffer. It's Kung Pao chicken.
Oh, okay.
Good
Well,
stuff.
we're heading into the final game of this set, going the full distance, and Horai, I think, was reverse swept earlier in this tournament, trying to make it happen in their favor this time. Oh wait, no, no, that's not what happened. There were no reverse sweeps in this tournament.
I think there was one.
No. Horai was on the brink of a reverse sweep against Game Freak, but Game Freak,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know what Game Freak did in that last game, but we're not talking about Game Freak. We're talking about Jivaro and Horai. And Jivaro once again pushed to the corner, makes a very creative roll, and somehow perfectly spaces that basic.
Yeah, that was pretty insane, actually.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rod getting hit trying to micro, and the whole time he's been really trying to macro, and the one time he was forced, he burst the spell.
Yeah,
Still what
Oh
he's
no.
doing.
but it's
Down for a bit.
definitely looking quite even, but I think the difference maker is really that basic usage. The additional basics making it so hard for Jivaro to pick and choose when to press buttons, especially that stun wave and the roll.
Please, no. Oh no. Oh, I got SST'd. Oh my god. He's using SST.
Alright, and Jivaro complaining a little bit about the network conditions of this game. However, not out of it just yet. Still both players having their full hearts. Jivaro at 1 heart. Full cards. Jivaro at 1 heart. Horai at 2, so it's not that big of a difference. Jivaro just needs to get 1 here. But as the walls close in, it might get a little favorable for Horai's basic usage, as Jivaro has to be even more careful. But on the flip side, Jivaro's rolls will now cover basically the entire stage. And that stun wave will be just so scary, and oh no, that wide was incredibly scary. But Jivaro getting the stun wave into basic, it's 1-1. And this is crucial right here. Jivaro gets the roll. Jivaro manages to make it out. Horai with a delayed wide makes it so scary, but Jivaro somehow survives and finally gets hit by that diamond.
Just like
Oh my
good
God.
old classic Sun melee scrimmage. I was just off kilter enough.
Can I tell you guys something funny that the new players around here might not have known?
Right.
If
What?
you've seen the clip of Frog as Worm unleashing a million bullets at me at once, that was not the worst thing that happened in that game.
Huh.
The worst thing that happened was when right after that,
Oh.
Frog activated some lag switch bullshit thing that caused my game to close.
Oh, whoops.
I forgot about that part.
But this card looking very, very good for Horai. Looking almost one-sided, in fact. Jivaro getting caught stun waving on diamonds, and these diamonds may be no. Jivaro just rolling through. Trying to keep the dream alive, but you have to think that Jivaro won't be able to last an entire 3 Horai hearts without getting bonked. But we've seen it happen before. It could happen again.
No.
not over till it's over.
No, I actually saw the lag that time.
Jivaro has to be so careful not to get hit by wides here. Has to not pick the wrong angles. Jivaro, as far as I know, is a keyboard player, right?
Yeah.
Nerfed versus Sun, confirmed. Gets the stun wave, and suddenly
What?
it's all even.
Oh my goodness.
Jivaro though has to not bonk here, has to not get hit by the Ys, has to be so careful moving in, and especially against those basics, forced to roll out from that corner. The basics so oppressive in that spot. And now
It's just
Jivaro.
getting consistently pushed back.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
what a set this is.
Wow, and Jivaro managing to make it all the way to the last card from a 1-3 deficit. And I don't know who's going to take it. Hobo, any predictions for this last card?
Not really. I personally leaning towards Rise Sun, but I mean, we've seen that could almost go either way.
Yeah, and Horai goes for a very, very scary response in returning Javaro's aggression, but Javaro managing to survive and catches Horai along the top wall with the basics. That early lead could mean so much here, as Jivaro continuing to try and mix up with the unfocused basics as well, not getting caught by the basics. Horai looking to try and catch Jivaro out.
Oh my god, the SST. That was so funny.
And Jivaro still managing to stay alive. It's still even. Not getting hit after that is crucial. But Horai definitely fully in this game after that hit. It's all tied up, and as the walls close, those basics are only going to get scarier as Jivaro has less room to dodge, less room for error. But Jivaro also will definitely go for more stun waves. But oh, that was so scary of a situation. Jivaro was not pixel perfect, but had to be to get out of that one.
Harai is just consistently sidestepping everything right now. He's not having to micro too much, so he's having a good time right now.
And Jivaro goes for a stun wave attempt, but it does not connect. And Javaro's still trying to find Horai, but Horai takes advantage of that and puts down so much pressure, but Jivaro finally finds a hit to alleviate it somewhat, and now it's looking pretty doable for Jivaro as Horai takes another hit. Jivaro just needs one more, but so does Horai. Jivaro finds the corner, does not have roll, has to make it out, but
No! It roll backed on me.
Oh, sorry about
Oh,
that. I think
it's
we both
okay.
suffered from SST in that last round, though.
I think that very last hit though was a bit of a checkmate.
No, that was dodgeable, and like so the indicator, it moved in place. It moved like I knew where the wide was gonna go, and then it rolled back to like place the wide where I was going after I had already gone past it, and so I had to go back into the basic and try and reposition, but like it was over. I couldn't go left.
Maguka, I did not close the game mid-tourney. It was shortly before the tournament began.
Alright, Hobo,
So
do you want to
it
open
doesn't
the
count.
game?
See?
Huh.
That's
It was before the game.
crazy. Oh my god, that was such a good set too. Alright,
Let
you gotta
me see
enter
that
more.
clip.
It's so fun.
Oh, maybe. But I wasn't even planning to enter this tournament. I just did it because Maguka quit. Now I'm super exhausted. Now I have to fight Game Freak, whoever that is. Oh, that's the person I just fought.
Oh man, jeez, I can't do this. How do you guys do it every event? Like I always come in wanting to troll, and you end up making me try. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
That's the neat part.
We stay
Does anyone
winning.
else want to spectate this, or just watch from besides this?
Oh man, that hurt. Like when I lost against Frog.
Almost been like
I could have I could have won that.
What about you, Javaru?
Me what?
Are you gonna
Oh,
spectate?
Discord, I
Oh,
I was just
won.
wondering if you want.
Javaru, your mic's having a bad time.
You hear me?
Do you want to spectate?
No, I'm gonna eat.
Alright,
I'm
so
gonna do other things I need to do.
Then,
Oh
then
man.
let's go, I guess.
Oh,
wait, I changed music. I changed music.
Oh,
Let's see. Stars? No. Stars in reverse is good, I guess.
How do I even change the music?
Up and down.
up and down.
No, it's not working.
I
Oh,
need to
working.
like remember this feeling for future events. GG, Horai. Wait, is this thing working?
yeah. We
Oh,
can
I
hear
might
you.
not be able to change it to the song I want because I haven't unlocked all the stages yet.
Ooh.
Alright. I'll be back. I'll maybe be back. We'll see
See
what
ya,
happens. I'll see you later.
Javaro.
Goodbye. Thanks for the games.
Losers finals, Game Freak versus Horai. With Rem standing as the final boss of this tournament, Game Freak has stated that he does not want to fight the SST. Really hope that Javaro would win this one. But we'll have to face Horai now, and starting off not so good for Game Freak. Horai managing to snipe Game Freak out as Game Freak needs to play a bit more carefully, but Horai the one getting hit this time. Diamond dashes immediately through the flower to more open space where there's less pressure.
I don't know what you expect me to say about this matchup. I'm bad with both these characters. Never played it before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really play Maiden. I haven't played Maiden and Spell really since like 2.5 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah, but you've at least like seen this in action and been able to talk about it with other people. I don't. So, man, Horai is stuck in the corner, huh?
Yeah, and that was really
No.
incredible because Game Freak was like almost trapped by the diamonds at the bottom wall, but managed to somehow dodge them, and now it's such a massive reversal. But Horai makes it happen, and now it's even. And Game Freak erasing that basic with the flower to buy
What?
time, and
Oh my God.
some really laggy looking movement happening on Horai's end, and that card goes to Game Freak.
Not gonna lie. I kind of hope Game Freak wins because I'm getting exhausted, and I did want to commentate a little more, but I'm not gonna throw this game. Oh shit. Okay, I am throwing.
Yeah, and Game Freak kind of pounces on the opportunity, gets a big charge off and those 2 hits, so that early Horai lead in this card nullified, and Game Freak being forced back. Actually, this could be pretty good for Horai because Game Freak's not getting upfront setup, has to settle for setup all the way back there. Definitely not comfortable dodging those diamonds.
That was a particularly nasty one.
Yeah, and Horai staying pretty
If you-
stable at the top right. What are you gonna say, Hobo?
I wasn't gonna say much. Horai really is just chilling right now.
Yeah, top.
Game Freak desperately trying to get in to do stuff. Diamonds, they didn't have to hit, they just had to away. Did exactly.
Okay, that was stupid of me.
Alright, and Game Freak takes the first game, and about to comment something.
Oh. Okay.
Announcing that they were
I'm
gonna
just
make
not
another
noticing the
SST
lag.
comment. Alright.
I tried to go around it.
Yeah, and Horai, with that immediate hit, it's such a good situation for Game Freak, but has to burn a flower to get through, does so, and with the reduced cooldown on that, definitely not as scary as it used to be. Has to dodge these diamonds, makes through the wides as well, starts charging a flower, and we're seeing Horai try and position differently to try and catch Game Freak off guard, to try and stack up the walls, and finally does so. The wide catching Game Freak, the waffle wall slowly drifting, and once again the waffle wall with the diamonds catching Game Freak, and Horai in a bit of an early lead here. Alright.
It's a pretty narrow bonk there. Game Freak might be getting just a little bit tired.
Maybe the dodging sun stuff is hard, and I keep forgetting what Game Freak plays on. If it's keyboard, and that's even more understandable, but I think it's controller, but all of that doesn't matter here. They're still in this game. They're still keeping it alive in this card. Trying to get some setup up close, drops the flower for the invuln and the coverage, gets a wide up there too, so it's basically like 2 pseudo flowers, but the wide gets a reset by Game Freak, and you have to think that might have been a little bit of a mistake, but no, gets the flower down, gets the wide down, and now the setup is looking very good for Game Freak, and Horai only has 1 heart left.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
About the
I need to
flower,
practice not bonking on wides. I can't
Yeah,
angle
although I-
myself.
Although I think that time the butterfly up top was about to plonk you over the head as well, so...
I was about to dodge it.
Where are you now?
Yes, I was planning around that butterfly.
Unfortunately, the wide above Horai's head had other plans, but Horai looking a little bit better in this second card with an early lead. Still has to dodge, but those diamonds doing work. Gets to dispel through the wall and trying to put some diamonds down. Game Freak trying to avoid them. Gets past them without burning the flower. Did not have the flower. 0.5 seconds away, so still surviving, has that resource as well. Horai though stuck on the right side, and Game Freak just making that setup scarier and scarier with that butterfly at the top. As the walls close in, that butterfly will start shooting straight down, blocking off an entire escape route for Horai. But before that can happen, Game Freak takes a hit.
Yeah, just sort of got corded in with a couple basics and white stuff. Was it possible to dodge? Maybe. With some foresight.
And Horai makes it through with that, I think, post-dispel setup on Game Freak. And Game Freak now, if Horai's not going to even this up, Game Freak's going to have to do some work. And Game Freak still going for the usual setup, but bonks on a wide early, and Horai putting out the diamonds to continue pressuring Game Freak through the next card. And Game Freak now charging, finally interrupted by a basic, but that flower is pretty sizable, and those butterflies are so well set up to catch Horai's approach. And again, that butterfly and the basic completely stuffing Horai, trying to chase Game Freak a little bit, but Game Freak this time getting caught by the breakfast setup, and Horai goes for a dispel this time to slip through the bottom of that flower. Gets a hit, but gets hit in return.
Went from 4-4 to 1-1
No.
pretty fast, huh?
I thought I could make it.
And that was a really, really ridiculously close game, but Game Freak closed it out in the end, and now we're on the third game. And it kind of felt like that second game was, like, the last bit felt like it was Horai's, but Game Freak somehow managed to survive long enough for, like, the heart trades to happen. This time, though.
Maybe. I sort of got the sense that they were getting each other's faces a little more that card. And just upped the risk a whole bunch on both of them.
Yeah, and this time, Game Freak's the one who's looking for a bit of an approach sometimes, but not able to get out of there, and gets kind of overwhelmed by the diamonds. So really, really fast card for Horai. And the Game Freak has to escape the dispel there, manages to get out. Walking through the diamonds before they appear, dropping the flower, but the setup is so far away from Horai except for that lone up front butterfly. And Horai has the entire bottom wall to work with against Lich. And is constantly forcing Game Freak away with the waffles and the diamonds. Finally, that butterfly comes into play, the one on the right. The last shot before it disappears is the one that takes Horai's heart.
Oh my gosh.
And the
Is that a
wide.
wide
Landed
strike?
on a wide. Yeah. It happens.
And Game Freak looking for a bit more aggressive of an approach, trying to reset that crucial butterfly, and gets it down, and now with a lot of pressure with that flower, playing around it and trying to go in with another flower dash. Horai surviving for the moment, but room getting very, very tight on the left side. But Game Freak crucially getting hit there, allowing Horai to escape, but no.
What?
That butterfly on the right.
That's disappointing.
And Game Freak,
Well, gave it a good shot. Sorry, Saya. Keep commentating.
alright, and Game Freak really turning it up, but even when Horai gets these early leads, it always feels like Game Freak's still in it, can still play for that end game, can still survive on that low amount of hearts. And even here with a deficit, with the diamonds approaching, Game Freak just flower dashes through and is looking for an opening, goes inside the dispel willingly, dodges the basics, and Horai is still trying to hit Game Freak, but Game Freak's setup is complete. And
Yeah, just those butterflies all everywhere. So while Game Freak may be getting pushed back a whole bunch and not getting flowers in the right place until now, butterflies are putting in work. Butterflies always putting in work.
And that's part of like the
It-
beauty about Game Freak's playstyle. Because they're such a mobile lich, they're always moving. Their butterflies are naturally well placed. And because they're always moving, it also helps them against characters such as Red.
What?
But Game Freak's the
Man.
one that just closes it out here. And that's it.
I feel like a loser for getting hit by that, but good games, Game Freak. Sorry I couldn't put up more of a fight, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway.
Alright, now we're gonna head into Grand Finals, Game Freak versus Rem.
Oh right, I did learn to dodge Lich Wide on keyboard, so that's... And now I've forgotten it both ways, so extra unfortunate. Okay, I hope I didn't tire you out too much, Game Freak. 'Cause I certainly tired myself out. But I'm gonna commentate this anyway.
Oh man, play a true challenge for finals.
Oh, I couldn't. They went in too fast. And Jivaro has returned for this Grand Finals. But Horai, what do you think about this matchup? Rem took it 3-0 in winner's side. But do you think Game Freak can adapt in this Grand Finals?
Can Game Freak adapt? Yes. But will Game Freak adapt is a bit of a tough question because Rem took the last set with Game Freak pretty commandingly. And Game Freak is... Well, if I were Game Freak, I'd be a bit tired
But it also
after all those games.
it also feels like Game Freak kind of scales over the course of a tournament sometimes, and this might be it with that massive flower charge and the clean pressure leading to that first heart.
If that is the case, that'll be a lesson to learn for next time. Game Freak doing some excellent melee there, so already I feel a little bit proven wrong. In fact, Lich's melee is incredibly strong against Red Hood. It just takes a really skilled player to use it properly.
Everyone's melees are good against Red Hood. Come on now.
That's not true.
Who's are? Never mind.
Sun's melee's not that good against Red Hood, and Arcanist's isn't that against Red Hood. They can both hold their own, but like Red Hood is a little bit scarier in melee. Like, so with Sun and Arc, you have to know what you're doing.
Okay,
Red Hood's
fair
melee is
enough.
also bad.
Alright,
Oh.
and maybe Rem is the one who's a bit exhausted here as Game Freak, a very, very dominant first card, a big flower charge as well, but finally gets sniped up at the top edge for Rem's first lead of this set so far.
I have to say, Saya, I'm a big fan of how you take like off topic and transition it using the off topic to transition.
I have to. Like,
But it's
maintenance spell tournaments commentary is like tangents upon tangents.
Who was
like
the
way
best
you
maiden and spell commentator ever?
probably Saya.
I'm gonna say it, it's me. There's no
Yeah,
contest at
like-
this point, it's me.
Oh,
It's
you
it's
know,
not even like him like flexing or making ridiculous claims. It's actually
I think you guys misunderstood the question. When I said who was the best commentator ever, what I meant was what was her name.
Yeah, I get it. There's someone.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That last hit on Game Freak. Full charge right in the basic.
I
Completely parallel to it.
It was Cinnamon. That was her name.
we had a sheet for this, like, and you put it there. Where is it? I had to find it.
We had a sheet for it. Oh, I should probably delete that, to be honest. Although I guess people used it, so maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll transfer ownership or something.
Right. Okay. The joke maiden and spell power ranking sheet I made way back in the day. Your commentator tier list was Cinnamon, Horai, Saya, Omergosh, Ilios.
Why did I put myself in second place? I'm terrible.
Sounds like something you'd do.
Like at that time, I feel like it was right.
Oh, but nowadays I'm just that bad at commentary, huh? Well, I'm gonna have to redeem myself by commentating this game. Game Freak eats Rem's basic right as it's coming at the Lich. Game Freak has Rem in the corner, meleeing up close and going around the uncharged red basics. Game Freak doing an amazing job, but at some point, Rem's pressure just got to be too much, and Game Freak took a step back. Probably a wise move. Game Freak managing to eat all 3 of the knife juggles. Got some butterflies in some really good spots, including several off of the screen, and Rem finally takes a hit. Game Freak is up 2 lives, Rem is cornered, and that is going to be it.
I'm just reminded of what Jabaro said about me being so good at transitioning off topic into on topic, and that's exactly what you did just now. That was a flawless transition. I feel like everyone who's commentated Maiden Spell for long enough just has that skill.
I feel like I don't want to be. I've never commentated any video game, any multiplayer game other than Maiden and Spell, but I've seen a lot of Smash Brothers commentary, and I feel like it looks easier, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I can't tell if Maiden and Spell is hard to commentate or if commentary is hard.
This is a super common thing I've said, but Maiden and Spell I think is one of the hardest games to commentate because in traditional fighting games and even platform fighters, combos exist. And when someone gets hit, they're put into disadvantage, and that's a phase of the game. But in Maiden and Spell, a hit's a hit. There's no downtime.
Dodges can be tough to commentate, and hits can be tough to commentate. By the way, though, I just want to point something out. I know it's a little late, but at the start of this match, Rem used basic, and Game Freak just dodged it immediately. This is the first Lich mirror of the set, so it just goes to show how knowledgeable Game Freak is with the character.
Wait, Rem's playing Lich?
Yes, it's a Lich mirror. Weren't you paying attention?
I was not.
Now who's the second best commentator in Maiden and Spell? Huh?
Yeah, it's Cade.
Yeah, okay. Now we're finally on the same page.
Anyway, so Rem doing quite well in this Lich mirror so far. Actually at a bit of an advantage here. Has the flower tempo advantage, and also has better butterflies, it feels like. Game Freak's butterflies being eaten, and Rem will have a flower here too.
Oh, but Rem's losing that tempo advantage as we speak. Although, just as I say that, Game Freak takes a hit. Good eat by Game Freak. The eat on the other side might have been better if it got the 2 butterflies, but I don't think Game Freak could afford that. Oh, that one wide that was trapping Game Freak in the corner was just so debilitating.
No.
Oh, and Javaro's just staticking out right now. And I feel like we haven't heard a word from Javaro in the past 10 minutes, but only a little bit of static, which I've ignored. Sorry, Javaro.
Damn static electricity.
Oh my god.
Storm
Hello? Can I be heard now?
Yes.
No.
I did it!
Damn it, Taya.
I did it!
Alright, and Rem... Maybe Rem should have been a Lich player from the very start, because Rem is off to yet another lead in this set.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna be honest, Rem is one of the best players. I feel like Rem... I'm not too surprised to see Rem competent with a wide array of characters. Excellent first Lich mirror by Rem. I'm wondering if Game Freak is going to counterpick. I guess not.
Game Freak doesn't have a counter pick.
Game Freak's definitely one of the character faithful. Rem, much more open to other picks, it seems.
Oh my god, this tournament was I know it's not over, but I just have to say it. This has been so exciting and so fun.
Well, yes, it's the return of Rem. Why wouldn't it be?
But the game against Ori was fun, and we have game
That
too.
game was super tiring, but that was an amazing set. Both of my sets with Game Freak were amazing, even though I lost both of them. The second one was 3-0. And I was tired of the second one. Those were genuinely really fun sets. And I think
what?
Game Freak is an amazing player. But Rem is also an amazing player, and one sign of an amazing player in this game is being skilled with multiple characters. Rem has a good advantage in terms of territory, but is down 2 hearts now. So it might be a bit difficult, but I think Rem can pull this off.
Yeah, but the thing is, Rem at such an early disadvantage, like, even if you have the best setup in the world, it feels like you'll bonk eventually, at least once, and if you have one heart, that's not a lot of buffer.
Oh, you know, just as I was saying, Rem had a good advantage, field advantage. What I meant by that was like setups and stuff. Double basic start, nice. Just as I said that, I realized Game Freak is actually summoning Exodia, which is an extremely useful strategy in Lich Mirrors in particular, actually.
Yeah, I feel like Game Freak tends to just passively accrue the great setup because of how like much they move around. They find their ways to the four corners of the field.
Exactly, Exodia is in play, and I think it is just such a naturally strong strategy for this matchup in particular, because it's actually feasible to do it without getting destroyed, which cannot be said about most characters.
And Game Freak with
Nice double flower eat. I mean butterfly eat.
yeah, and Game Freak just firmly in the flower tempo advantage right now. And their butterfly placements mean that Rem can't get too much value, but Rem getting a hit here. But I don't know, Game Freak's just flower tempo advantage seems to be way too much, since whenever Rem gets any kind of eat with the flower, Game Freak can just answer back so easily, especially after Rem burns a flower with no deletes.
Game Freak on the verge of winning this game. Remin up. Oh, yeah, that was a super tough micro. It's a bit hard to see the micros on those butterfly bullets sometimes.
And watching this, I'm just convinced that Lichmere is peak Maiden and Spell. And I may be wrong, but I'm right in my head.
Oh, Rem is going to Sun. Hold up, who won the first game?
Game Freak.
Oh. Yeah, okay. So the score is 2-1, right?
Oh yeah, in Game Freak's favor.
Okay. Alright, it is Sun Priest this time.
Yeah, and I think this.
Game Freak. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah,
Go on.
yeah. I was gonna say I think this is a good choice to make because I feel like Game Freak has fully adapted to the Lich matchup, and if you're going to, I guess, play it out here, I feel like Game Freak would just win that next game. But as we begin, Rem off to a decent start, but that inner ring of white is so brutal sometimes. Game Freak just capitalizing on it too, building the wall, getting the setup up, and that butterfly on Rem's side is such a nuisance to Rem trying to dodge. But Rem's not just dodging, Rem is putting out a lot of pressure as well.
Game Freak is trying to keep the setup up, but Ram's pushing and pushing and making it very hard to do that.
Nice basic into wide on the side setup by Rem, and another one right there. Or actually, that was more of a true breakfast, but Game Freak eats it with a flower. Noticing Rem's close range basic setups are really good. It seems like Rem really just knows when to use focus basic and when to use unfocused basic most of the time. But it's hard when Game Freak gets to eat a lot of them, and more often than not, that's the plan.
This might be a really weird thing to say when they're so even right now, but I think that Game Freak is not the greatest at this particular matchup, because not necessarily due to Game Freak being bad at it, but I think Game Freak's playstyle is pretty incompatible with it. Game Freak just wants to be constantly moving around the map, getting that four corners, getting all of those butterflies across, but the way that Sun forces you outward kind of prevents that from Game Freak.
And even then, moving around a whole bunch is just going to spread the waffles, the times out a whole bunch. Moving a lot makes them bunch up a whole lot more than if you just make small, tiny movements, which she doesn't want. She could do small, tiny movements if she needs to, but she really just wants to move deliberately instead of...
Ooh. That's it for Game Freak. I guess it's 2-2.
Yep.
And by the way, yeah, when I was fighting Game Freak, I did lose both of those sets, to be fair. But I did notice that I would be waiting for Game Freak to move a little towards the walls. Because moving towards the walls might seem like a good idea, but against Sun, that is one of Sun's few chances to get a few advantages in that match. So, again, though, of course, I lost that set. Had a lot to do with my bonks and a couple questionable dodging decisions. So I feel like I can still agree with what y'all are saying.
Yeah, and I think that wall observation is very, very valuable because I think Game Freak had a few key bonks near the wall in previous tournaments they were in. And just dodging anything near the wall is hard, but especially, as you said, Sun as a character just outputs so much more pressure when your back is to the wall. But here, Game Freak off to a little bit of a lead. Rem, though, looking to equalize it with those diamonds, but Game Freak just flower dashes through. That looked a little weird, and still managed to stay afloat, but finally Rem equalizes, and this still could be Rem's card.
Yeah, the arena's getting smaller, so I think it's a little bit too early to say Lich gets the Lich advantage. But Game Freak definitely has a shot at this. I think Game Freak, at the beginning of that round, staying in the center and getting those hits on Rem, I think Game Freak was performing a lot better. And indeed, Rem, unfortunately, runs into the wide ring. The bane of my existence.
Yeah, and that was such a hard dodge to make because those butterfly shots were like inches away from Rem. Rem had to make that dodge, and it just didn't happen.
At time and angle, Game Freak was actually close to making an amazing dodge right there. He went through those waffles.
Right, and it looks like Javaro is flickering in and out of existence mic-wise as Game Freak gets a cool melee.
You can hear me now, surely.
Yes.
Yeah, and instances like this just make quantum physics a lot more believable, you know?
Oh, but
Well,
People say it doesn't resemble our world at all, but it totally does. And that was a very unfortunate hit by the Sunburst on Game Freak.
yeah.
But, oh, Game Freak actually still has Rem trapped, sort of. Finally gets diamonds to stop. I wasn't... Oh! That was really close. Game Freak got trapped by the edge of Dispel and butterflied out of the Sunburst just in time. Oh, nice basic in the face by Game Freak.
Game Freak might be on the verge of the bracket reset here if they can, like,
Smooth diamond boost by Rem.
clutch this out.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, Saya. That was the worst interruption of all. They just had to point that out.
And, well, yeah, Rem's playing so cleanly, but Game Freak just needs one hit now. And that one hit...
That was a dangerous move by Rem, and I'm not sure it quite paid off. That last butterfly, I would not have been able to read when those bullets were coming out either. So that's very unfortunate for Rem, but it's not over yet. We are going to our bracket reset.
Really? That's crazy.
Yup, and another potential 5 games. Game Freak asking for a minute. Rem saying, of course, we are just watching definitely one of the closest grand finals in recent memory.
I'll actually be right back because I just realized I left the stove on before this tournament started. Be right back.
Ooh. But yeah, I don't think I've seen a grand finals this closely matched in like almost ever.
What about Game Freak versus Keyfing?
I guess, but even that, like, it kind of snowballs, I think. Here, though, it's very back and forth. Rem kind of interrupting Game Freak's, I guess, adaptation by swapping.
I can't believe Game Freak got the bracket reset against Rem. I like... It was very close. I'm hoping it's not going to turn out similar to what happened to me when I bracket reset Speed and Nico's. Nico's, I think. Or is it Neku? It's Neku's okay. It's Nico, I think.
It's Neko.
I thought it was no, because I'm trying to say his name right, because I normally say Neku, but you say it's Neko. What?
It's Neko.
Regardless, ATM. I was in ATM and I bracket reset Speed, and then I got killed in the second set. So
Bracket predictions are up, by the way.
I want to stay, but on the other hand, I kind of want to do something else.
Okay. Do something else, you know? Now is your time.
I do have time, but it would be kind of fun to. I mean, like, part of the problem with like trolling events is if you troll an event, you're very likely to lose it, which means you can't be in it as long, which means I can't troll as much. So it's kind of like the question is like, do I want to like get all my trolling out of the way right away, or do I want to spread it out?
Alright, but predictions are up, so get your bestie buck predictions in as we head into Grand Finals reset.
I'm sorry, Game Freak. I think Rem wins this.
I am back. I was lying about the stove. I just wanted to leave you guys in a state of suspense and horror.
Oh,
This is awful. I'm actually betting 200 on Rem.
alright, but I don't know, because it feels like Game Freak, once they have realized, or like once they've gotten used to Rem's character, it feels like they just clutch it out.
I wonder if Rem might switch to Sun.
Switch
Also,
to Sun?
everybody. Sorry, switch to Red Hood.
What are we gonna say? Also, everybody?
Everybody is betting on Rem right now.
Yeah, well, I feel like they're justified with how dominant Rem's being in this first game, in this first card.
Yeah, why did you set the predictions?
Those
for
diamonds
5
went past
minutes?
Game Freak. That is super unfortunate. Hopefully I can hop into the spectator after this round.
Yeah.
These 5-minute predictions, Seiya, like a game is over by the time the prediction is
Well,
over.
game one does not
It's-
matter in a set like this, I'm gonna say.
It's true. It's true. The only like it's just filler.
It really comes down to who makes the adaptations, because when Rem switched characters, Rem played a total of 3 characters in the first set. Game Freak beat the Red Hood immediately, but the other 2 characters, it took them one loss to beat. So,
Thank you for streaming every game, Seiya.
yeah, I can't believe you made me do this.
What do you mean? What's wrong with it?
We-
Rem's
isn't it-
cornered, but Dispel is up. Oh, that's very unfortunate.
And we're seeing a lot of that inner ring of wide come into play, not necessarily on its own, but definitely when the player is pressured by external factors such as that butterfly shot or the basic. Just all of that coming in forces you to make a quick dodge, and it's just so hard to maneuver through that in that time. And Game Freak looking very, very dominant in this second card.
Even dodges the semi-breakfast there. Nice.
Let me breakfast.
Eats the
Okay,
double
you know what?
basic, and Rem is trapped, but Dispel is up.
I'm putting 300 on Rem now.
Wow, and this
Oh!
Game Freak still manages to survive out of that corner, makes it out, doesn't get caught by the basics afterward either, dodges the wide, but
Oh! That was too tight with the walls.
Yeah.
Right after that amazing Dispel escape too, I guess Rem should have pushed it more, but Flower and Butterfly were both down.
right, and even despite that, I guess, catastrophic, unfortunate situation for Game Freak. Wait, just as I'm about to say, it's still looking good for Game Freak. Rem just completely turned around the situation. Game Freak with the series of bonks to pressure, has to dodge the diamonds, does so. Finally has the flower back up, uses it immediately, so we'll have to dodge for another while. And Rem just
Escapes to the other side with Dispel.
yeah, and Game Freak just trying to cut Rem's escape options away, and finally Rem being trapped without Dispel, 1.5 seconds left. Game Freak managed to secure that card, but Rem did not make it easy.
Very close. They're both down to last card of the new round. Game Freak immediately getting set up. Rem going pretty aggressively with those diamonds, trying to keep Game Freak at bay for anyone using space. Gets a hit. Game Freak still not fully set up here, but he just takes that invisibility to go straight in. Now has a setup here. Rem is a bit squeezed, but his flower went away.
Game Freak was diving into that Dispel, but the waffles caught Game Freak just before he got in.
Okay, 550 on Rem. Who's betting on Game Freak?
Alright, and
Alright.
wow, Rem just, I don't know, like that was such a close first game in general. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
630 voted on Rem right now. One person voted 10 on Game Freak.
Felt like that was a pretty dominant last card by Rem, though.
But that second card, second card was so scary.
Absolutely. That could have been anyone's game. And I think the fact that the second to last hit that Rem took on that card was because Rem was trying to go above the flower in between the wall, but the tip of the edge rather of the butterfly that was right up by the flower just barely blocked that path. And I'm not sure Rem could see that. That's probably why Rem got hit that second to last time. So it's because of that very fortunate butterfly placement for Game Freak that Rem ended up losing that card, but Rem took home the game anyway. Oh, my voice sounds terrible.
Okay, and we're about to head into
I
game
accidentally turned on
2.
the stream. Yeah, I can spectate. Let me get out of the Saya stream. How do I get out of the stream?
Bottom something.
Oh, okay, I found it.
Alright, and we're heading into game 2 of Grand Finals Reset. Rem versus Game Freak, and I think it really all depends on if Rem can make Game Freak bonk very, very early with the diamond and waffle pressure, because the longer it goes, it just feels like even if Game Freak bonks late, if Game Freak's setup is good enough and the hearts aren't too different, that Game Freak can just clutch it out. But Game Freak the one bonking early, and Rem not really trapped on the right side of that flower, giving enough space at the top for Rem to cross over. I was about to say Horai when I looked at the Moon Priestess, and well, Horai, what do you think about Rem's gameplay so far?
Honestly, I'm genuinely throughout the set, I've genuinely been surprised to see a Sun Priestess that makes decisions so similar to the ones that I would make. Like, I think I've played a little risky in this matchup, perhaps to my detriment, but I kind of like to play risky against Lich because he can get advantages at times. But Rem is just making smart decisions in terms of Sun Priest, the zoning, and choosing areas to go to that, like, honestly, it's Rem's gameplay is spot on. That's my answer to the question. And unfortunately, Game Freak is a very strong player, and Lich is a bit of a tough matchup for Sun. And I think that is playing into Game Freak's favor. Rem should have just gone horizontally there, but unfortunately goes up a little, hoping to get out of the ring, but that actually made Rem hit the ring. Nice wide snipe by Rem, though.
Yeah, and it was kind of breakfast out of reminiscent from Game Freak at the top catching Rem. But I guess that sometimes happens if you're just caught up so much, and Game Freak just...
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, and it feels like Game Freak is developing such a strong setup on the right side. Even though the wides aren't there, everything else is, and Game Freak can move in and set up some wides as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a super unfortunate Dispel usage earlier. It was not far enough to give Rem a good chance of getting through those flowers, and that made Rem trapped for a while longer, long enough to count, clearly. It looked like Rem was going to try to make another escape, but it did not pan out.
Yeah, and Rem putting diamonds out, trying to buy a little bit of time, buy a little bit of space, but Game Freak moving very, very intelligently, just not getting caught up by Rem's attempts, and Rem continuing to diamond, continuing to basic, and finally...
Nice breakfast! And right after Rem snuck between the wall and the right ring. Amazing plays by Rem. See, Rem's at a huge disadvantage here. Oh, even loses the game, unfortunately. But I was just going to say, against Lich, even in the late game, even when she has the heart lead, you just have to never give up. That's the most important thing about beating Lich.
And Rem swapping back to Hood here, and I think that's a smart choice. Definitely better to swap now than when you're down, like when you're staring down match point. You still have a game to play with, so if Rem's gonna switch, this was the game to do it, and Rem did.
Well, this is very exciting, but I think I'm going to drop out for now. I'm probably not going to come back before this ends, but we'll see. See y'all later.
See you, Javaro.
Bye, Javaro. Thanks for the commentary and games.
This was fun. You gotta enter more, alright, it's amazing.
Right, and then there were 3, but there are 2 on the stage right now, the virtual stage, and Rem with the swap. I don't know. Even though Game Freak got hit early, it just feels like it's so much easier for Game Freak to do the game plan against Rem on Hood because, well, Hood kind of like facilitates Game Freak's game plan. The more you move around against Hood, the easier it is to dodge Hood stuff, and Game Freak wants to move.
Game Freak just barely dodging the knives in the corner, just staying in range of the lasers, but microing them. Rem has just a little space to escape out on the top, and I think that's going to be a big deal. Unfortunately, hitting the ring, but Rem, because Game Freak's setup wasn't big enough, Rem had a lot of freedom to move around. Oh, that's unfortunate, though.
Chintzy little basic caught him.
Yeah, and it's really good that Rem is getting these early hits, trying to find when Game Freak wanders near a wall, because if you don't get these early hits, like, the end game is much harder.
Oh, that was a doable micro, but very unfortunate. Rem's switch seems to be paying off, especially after Game Freak was adjusting to that sun. Bonk so wide for the final hit, and in a bit of a bind as Rem only needs to win one more game to win the tournament.
So Hobo, as our resident on commentary Hood player, what are you gonna say?
I sort of forgot what I was gonna say, honestly. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Hovo. I talked a lot.
Oh, that's fine.
All
Saya, as our on commentary Lich player, what do you have to say?
Player is kind of stretching it. Like, I feel like I am associated with Lich, but I don't do a lot of playing. But I think overall, in like the context of the set, if Game Freak can win this game, I feel like Game Freak wins the entire set. But Rem is just so strong right now.
I thought you were going to battle against the winner for Thug Finals, Saya.
That's an Illy exclusive thing. I'm too weak for that.
No. But Neko does it. Well, I guess that Neko's actually decent at the game. No offense.
I have a lifetime winning record against Neko, I think.
Oh, really?
I think it's 1-0.
Yeah, see, so you are pretty...
A giant flower.
Never mind. Game Freak on the tournament card. Wait, no, never mind. I was laughing at
Trying
something.
to get good set going, but just... I'm
Game
just
Freak did
throwing
not
up.
eat those knives, and I think that was huge because Game Freak kind of lost the ability to melee Rem there, right when Rem was in the corner, too.
Yeah, and Game Freak forced to make so many hard dodges near the wall is kind of putting themselves in that situation a little too often, it seems. And it really comes down to whether Game Freak can play safe, I think, because they really want to go for that setup, the Exodia as it is, like, in the corners, but I'm not quite sure if it's too feasible to risk too much. But that hit lets Game Freak get 2 corners for free, it seems like.
You're not a full Exodia, but it is a box. Oh!
I wonder
That
if
was
Game Freak
quite a
just
rough spot
stayed
for
close.
Sorry, go on, Hovo.
I'd almost wondered if Game Freak should maybe try and stay close to Rem. Because Rem actually would be good for like Lich to go more melee when it is trapped and it's like hard point.
Yeah, I think it is. I think Lich is...
Just go
pretty
in
strong.
melee, abuse the dead zone, try to get that last hit in. but you only want to do that on like last heart, because doing that foregoes doing setup as Lich.
Yeah, and it was getting pretty narrow for Game Freak there, but Game Freak did make a comeback, not ready to give up this tournament yet, and now only one card away from bringing it to round 5. But unfortunately, Ziggs, when they should have zagged on that one little basic, and takes the first hit of the match,
And
of the card rather.
but even with that hit, it feels like Game Freak's setup is actually taking shape quite well. This card, Rem managed to make it to the other side though, and that hit could be fatal because as Game Freak was so desperate to set up on the left side, that hit just slows him down that much more and gives Rem that much more time to work with. Just needs one hit to win the tournament.
This is goodness. The angles on those basics, it's far from a guaranteed thing. Heroic doesn't have guaranteed. But Game Freak was on the right side. The angles on those basics is just pretty scary.
And Rem is crucially not getting hit here. Game Freak under so much pressure to not get hit a single time, has to dodge those basics, those knives, has to use the flower there to block off space and the invuln, and finally gets the hit on Rem.
Hits the flower. That's very unfortunate for Rem. Although Game Freak's on the tournament life, so maybe not that unfortunate, but you know. Ooh! Game Freak fairly doing that dodge. Oh! But that is going to be it.
From the right split-second decision to macro, wrong split-second decision to macro.
Excellent set, though. Excellent effort by Rem and Game Freak. Last hit was rough. I think dodging on the bottom of the screen is hard, even when you have the bottom and top of screen indicator thing turned on. But yeah, congratulations to Rem for winning the tournament.
Yeah, and I think like the reason I said that game was so crucial is because so far we saw the pattern of Game Freak being able to adapt to Rem's characters, like after one lost game. So when you're at match point, you gotta, this is now or never, you gotta adapt, and if you adapt, Rem has nothing left in the pocket except the Lich Mirror, which you are arguably favored in. So really just both well played and well strategized from Rem, pulling out those characters instead of like at the right time. Yeah, just pulling out those characters at the right time as well.
Winner interview, let's go.
Hello, Rem.
Hey guys.
Hey Rem,
Hello.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So this is your first tournament back in a long time, and you end up winning
Since Magical Mountain, I think.
Yeah, and so I saw you like decided to like primary Red Hood at the start, and for most of the tournament actually. So what really like made you decide on Red Hood?
Recently I've been thinking about switching back to Red Hood just to like experiment and trying to optimize the character a bit more. I think there's still some things that can be explored, especially with kunai positioning and baiting. I have fun with Sun, but I've been kind of getting bored with Sun as of recently. So I've just been exploring more with Hood.
All right, and so you faced like a lot of different opponents, many different opponents, but it was mostly Game Freak, if I'm gonna be honest. So how?
Right, I was mostly worried about Game Freak.
Yeah. So what exactly were you most afraid of when considering Game Freak's gameplay?
Game Freak has this really he has this positioning where he kind of forces you into a side, not necessarily a corner, but he just be on one side, and I'm more worried about focusing in that situation because it's a lot to deal with, and trying to have a position to hit and also escape at the same time. I was bonking a lot. That was mostly what I was worried about because in those situations I will bonk a lot the way that I played, especially. So I'm glad I was able to clutch it out because I knew I was gonna get hit a lot.
All right. Do you two have any questions for Rem?
Let me think. Actually, I have a general question that anyone could answer. How long ago was Magical Mountain? Because I'm wondering how long Rem's been going.
Like 4 months ago, I think.
Yeah, it was
Game Freak, I was nervous actually.
It was
It
late
was late
June.
June. Late June.
So y'all did it right after I left, huh? Y'all had a invitational tournament. Not that I would have cared at the time, but you know. Okay, what else? I had something else I was gonna ask Rem, but I totally forgot.
Was it anything about Sun?
Yes, it was. Right,
Oh.
yes, okay. So Red Hood and Sun, which do you think, like, I know you probably switched on and off for strategic reasons, but which do you think was easier to play against Game Freak and against Lich?
I think Hood is easier to play against Lich than Sun. For Sun, I don't know. It seems too boring for me. And you have to play very passively. It's hard to be in an aggro way and actually be effective with it. As Sun, with Hood, at least you have kunais to back you up and wide shenanigans. Also, like a lot of cross up with Hood and basic, it can really hit and intimidate Lich. Because Game Freak also does a lot of cross up, so I try to like maneuver my basics around that as well.
Yeah, I see. You had really good basic play with both
Yeah.
Red and Sun, I think.
Yeah, there's certain like things I try to like just stick by. I kind of have a game plan for both characters, but Hunt Sun is, I don't know, way harder for me.
All right, and
I see.
if that's it, I'll just like raid some Omega Striker streamer and end it early because this 6-person tournament went for the usual Maiden and Spell tournament duration of 3 hours.
3 hours.
Assisted by streaming every single set, of course. So thanks to everyone for entering, everyone for watching, and Horai and Rem for like both commentating the first tournament in a while and entering the first tournament in a while.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you, Saya. This was fun. It was fun to come back to commentating, learning some of my old tricks again, sort of. Thanks for reminding me about changing the subject, though.
Yeah,
I tried.
and also like it's kind of interesting how we still have like that kind of commentary synergy together.
Yeah.
After all this time. And before we leave, I'll leave you with one statistic. Magical Mountain was the top 16 players minus Nyx and Minkle, and Illy still didn't drop a single game in the entire tournament.
No. Interesting.
Alright.
Well, someday people are going to be ready to beat Illy. Someday this game will progress super far, and the meta will be really deep and advanced.
Alright, see ya everyone.
Take care.
See you guys. Thanks for coming.
Goodbye.